The Buffalo Bills are back on the practice field this afternoon. OTAs continue this week, and earlier this morning we did hear from new defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard, and you can listen back to what he had to say over on the Odyssey app or our website, WGR550.com. Do stay tuned, though. We'll get more on what was seen today when Sal Capaccio joins the show in just about an hour at 4 p.m. One other note in the NFL, the Supreme Court will not intervene in the discrimination lawsuit led by former Dolphins head coach and current Vikings DC Brian Flores against the NFL. And the case, which does stem back from 2022, will proceed toward a trial. Flores sued the league and 3 teams, alleging the league was rife with racism regarding the hiring process. Over to the playoffs, Colorado at Las Vegas tonight for Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Vegas is the team that can move on to the Cup final with a win tonight and could sweep the President's Trophy winning Avs. Nathan MacKinnon, though, is expected to play tonight for Colorado after picking up an injury in Game 3, and puck drop is at 9 o'clock tonight. And then some other news in the NHL. Looking forward to free agency. Evgeny Malkin not going to be on the market. He signs a 1-year deal worth $5.5 million to stay with Pittsburgh. In the NBA, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, that series is tied 2-2 between OKC and San Antonio. The game tonight is in Oklahoma. Tip-off is at 8:30. And following last night, we do already know who the Eastern Conference representative is going to be in the NBA Finals as the Knicks swept Cleveland. Then in baseball, Bison's home against the Iron Pigs. First pitch just after 6, while in the majors, Blue Jays host the Marlins and the Mets have Cincinnati in town. Both those games will start just after 7 o'clock, while the Yankees, they are in Kansas City versus the Royals. That game starts at 7:40. It's Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
Raisin Bran. You got to put Raisin Bran up there. Everybody knows it.
It's Mike Schopp.
Listen, get your own stupid old dying person team and choose your own cereals.
And the Bulldog.
I shall unleash my fury upon you like the crashing of 1,000 waves.
That cereal is soggy. You reach into the fridge for the milk and open the lid on the milk to pour it in there, and that crap is already soggy.
I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds.
That's a problem. That's a problem for a cereal. I
Huge
think.
problem.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog on WGR Sports Radio 550.
Sometimes you go away for a few days and you come back and it feels like you've been gone a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like me right now where I feel like I was just sitting here yesterday last night.
Yeah, it still feels like Friday show.
It did not. I love this weekend, but it did not take. It just did not. I had a dream last night.
I wonder what went wrong.
I don't know.
You got your day yesterday.
Yeah.
And Sunday, Sunday by the afternoon was awfully nice too. But
I think the best part of the 3-day weekend is the first day, where it's like a day 0.
Mm-hmm.
But it was miserable, so wasn't really much you could do with it. It's just like, I love that Saturday, then Saturday night, anytime you think of it, it's like, this doesn't count. It's just sort of like day 0.
Right. Yep.
But last night I had a dream where I was here, which does not happen to me very often. And I said I hope this doesn't get me in trouble just referencing it. I said the Michael Buffer line on the air.
Oh, okay.
Which, we're annually being threatened.
Yes.
That if you say...
At the very least once a year, we get an email saying
don't say
not
that.
allowed to say that.
Yeah, it's like, okay. But for as many years as I've been aware of that, I had a dream last night where I said the line, and like, what? And then I had to take a meeting about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have a lot of these stressful dreams, but usually I sort of wait. Like my son was being dropped out of a helicopter the other night.
That seems like it could be stressful.
All right, I know this isn't real.
Right.
So I just sort of wake up.
Yeah.
There's a certain crisis point where like, okay, well, I know this is a dream.
Yeah, my son is not in a James Bond movie.
Yeah. But this one did not really it took a little bit for it to sort of settle in my mind that, like, all right, well, you were not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And, well, I'm not in trouble for referencing it, right? Like, that's That's not crossing the line?
You haven't said it.
I said the person's name.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're in the clear.
I think it's because I've been watching some old poker lately, and his brother is or was a poker player. So I was thinking about this like the other night. And then like last night it came to fruition in my dream, and it sort of morphed into a work stress and a little bit of panic.
I think I want to volunteer that maybe it's healthy that I can't remember ever having had a dream, stressful or otherwise, about actually doing this.
Where you're in this room?
Yeah, we're here doing
good.
this.
That's probably good.
Yeah, I think so. I think that means that I don't stress out about it. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. It's also possible that I just don't remember the horrible nightmares I have about sitting in here with you 20 hours a week.
It's got to be terrible. I can't imagine.
It could be that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just like that bad, where a dream cannot really do it justice.
That's right.
It's just not. It's not going to be worse than the reality, so you're not going to remember it.
It doesn't even register.
Yeah,
like, whatever.
It's not going to be worse than the reality.
Yeah. Well, I think for, I don't want to say the first time, but I was thinking of you a lot. This Memorial Day stance you've had for years.
It's so funny.
And how, like, a key part of it, like the weather is vital, but it's also that there are certainly exceptions. I'm sure there are plenty of people that do big get-togethers at Chestnut Ridge or something, Memorial Day weekend at some point. But I think in your family, like mine, it's never really been hey, you got something on the calendar for Memorial Day yet. You know, if something comes up, hey, we're having some friends over, grab some hot dog rolls and come out. Okay, fine.
Right.
It's like a last-minute thing. That didn't happen yesterday. Instead, I just sort of, I slept until like 11 o'clock in the morning, which never, ever, ever, ever happened. And I wasn't even up really late on Sunday. It just was, I don't know. I just, at like 8, I rolled. I'm like, I feel like I could sleep. Yeah, 11. Okay. What now? Well, a couple of errands.
Nothing's on.
Right? Even though lacrosse wasn't until 1, maybe, I don't think.
That's correct.
So a couple errands, and then just sort of ease into full on, like all the yard stuff, the hedge like everything. I spent 3 or 4 hours just on ladders, just tying up loose ends. The hedge between my house and my neighbors has gotten pretty tall. You need a ladder now.
All right.
To reach the top of it. And just did all of that. And then it's like 4 o'clock now. Like, I think I'd take a shower and have a beer on the porch. And like, that was Memorial Day 2026. My wife works Sunday night and Monday night, so we had no time together. Luckily, the sound of whirring lawn equipment does not terrorize her while she's sleeping in between these shifts.
Whirring is a good word.
So I got and then just, man, the yard looks great.
Yep.
The yard looks great. Everything looks great. I'm the king of the
then
castle.
What? Yeah,
and that was it. And then it was hockey. Like I had a beer or two on the porch, and then it was time for hockey. Pretty much. I mean,
sounds great.
A little more time to kill there, but that was, to me, almost the definition. It would have been nice to have something social on there, go meet some friends and have a reason to pick up some hot dog rolls, like I referred to. But it was completely untethered and therefore very enjoyable, even though I was, sweating like a pig doing work.
I do want to say there was one Memorial Day in the last, I want to say, 7 years, maybe 3, that it poured. Like it was a complete washout.
Yeah.
But I love, like, I get texts from people that I don't get texts from unless they want something. Like
on Memorial Day when it's nice.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, Jeremy is a friend. He's not somebody who's just going to want something, but like he texted me yesterday. He called it, quote, my claim to fame. And on Friday, he heard me say, don't even check. Monday will be great. Sal as well with man, nailed it.
Right.
I don't know. It's just a dumb thing, but it's funny.
It's after
the one thing about
20 years, it's really broken through.
The point is, I just think it's always going to be perfect on Memorial Day, and I love like what Bulldog said about how, I mean, my poor aunts from when I was a kid, but like you don't have to go to Aunt Linda's because you didn't put a sweater on like on Thanksgiving or Christmas, or you have to sort of dress up and football's on, but you can't watch it because you got to take a shower, you got to sort of be ready to go to the party, and you're at the kids' table, and it's terrible. But Memorial Day has none of that. I got my dad and sister over, like you said, short notice in the middle of the afternoon. Like, what are you doing later? Nothing. Come on.
Yep.
So they came over. I made pulled pork.
Yep.
Like it was just sort of an easy day like that. The thing about it that I have to say every time, and I want to say every time, is that it is a solemn day. Memorial Day is not, what? Even the 4th of July in this way.
Right.
But
it's a day for reflection.
That's right. And I reflect, and it's an important day. It's an important holiday. But it's always on a Monday. It's the beginning of summer. It's casual in that other way, like that sort of family way, usually, for most people. You sort of do whatever you want, and that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm into.
Right.
So I love Memorial Day, and now it's on to summer. And I know that summer isn't until like 3 weeks away, but it kind of is.
Whatever.
Go outside right now.
I'm all right with unofficial starts to things.
Yeah. Yes. Let's just start it.
I'm all good.
Oh, this draft is going to start on Sunday. Well, why don't everybody's ready? It's an email. Just go.
It does finally.
Let's just go.
It does finally feel like I can safely put a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday morning tea time on the calendar and not have to worry about it being A, 41 degrees, or B, raining sideways.
Yeah, you can
for a little while here.
You can turn your pipes on safely now after having shut them off to prevent freezing in the winter. You can do that. I was listening this morning to the guys driving my daughter to school, and, Joe was talking about how, right when I turned it on, this was the conversation about how he has season tickets to the Bills, and at least he wasn't sure that he wanted to go to a game before the opener. You're going to have 2 preseason home games, and before those, that scrimmage that they do, presumably all at the stadium. So it got me sort of, I know probably how they were thinking, which is like, all right, well, hockey ended a week ago, and it's going to be 80 today. And like the next thing is the Bills. And I like the topic of whether you'd want to go to those preseason games or that practice. And Jeremy was saying like, well, don't you want to know where the bathroom is? And don't you want to know where the beer is? And, Joe was maybe thinking like, well, I can probably figure that out. But
I go to the other stadiums that I've never been in and usually find my way to A, the bathroom, B, the beer.
I think I'll get it.
Right.
But it was nice to listen to. And I was thinking about it and thinking that I am just totally not only not prepared, but I don't think there's any way for me to get prepared for the first time in my lifetime, and for most of our lifetime, seeing the Bills play somewhere new. I know there are things about it that are going to look the same. The end zones or something. Like I know there are things about it that they are going to be made to look similar, of course. But I am not prepared to see the Bills play on grass in a stadium where the seats are all different colors. And it's like there's sort of a roof, and just like everything that will be, camera angles, and not even to mention going to a game there. And, it'll be the same to a point, which is basically like when I type in the address leaving my house on the island, it's going to take me the same way that I've always gone.
Right.
Mostly. But, once you get out of your car,
totally different.
Are we, it's still May. Are we ready for, is there any way to even be ready for it? Just like how, especially if you have tickets, like Joe was saying, do I even want to go before it? I'm not sure I want my first game to be a preseason game. When we talked about the stadium last year, or even since we have known it was going to be replaced, once in a while we'll talk about like when it opened, and who did they play and what happened. But there were preseason games then. They played 6 preseason games in those years.
Yeah. So
there might have been 3. I don't know. There might have been 3 preseason games in Rich Stadium before they opened their regular season schedule. And wasn't there might have been a kickoff return in one of them that was like the first thing that happened.
Yep.
That saves it a little bit. Otherwise, like they're non-events.
Yeah.
Preseason games are non-events.
That's right.
So anyway, I was just thinking about the people who are thinking about this and like, is there any way to sort of prepare yourself mentally for, sitting down to watch the Bills this year, starting in week 2, I guess, and they're playing in some other place that's just not
right. Yeah. That's not right. I don't mean it's not right, but like I meant to say right, and then I said, but anyway.
It happens.
It is, yeah. I haven't really thought about it either. I'm not a season ticket holder. I don't know. You and I, you've not been there through any of the phase of construction.
At all.
Right? Okay, neither have I. I think we've got an invite at some point, although, I mean, there's not, I don't know, the phase of construction. It might be pretty cool to go walk through there now.
Maybe now I don't want to. Maybe now it's too late.
Right. It might be like a version of what you're describing. Do you want your first time in there to be, some Wednesday morning before work where we get a tour, or do you want it to just be a game you're going to?
They're hearing you say you sleep till 11, so it's almost too late.
Well, yeah. But no,
One-time thing.
You're burying the lead. The point is I never do that.
Until yesterday.
So, right. So even just thinking about the way, whether it's a 1 o'clock Sunday or an evening game or whatever it is, you're turning the game on. Even on TV, it looks a certain way. The lighting looks a certain way. Like everything about the color of the turf, the walls, what you can see of the crowd. Like, your whole life, you can tell that's a home game. Like, I see photos of other teams, other players during free agency or whatever, and I can. That's the Bill Stadium. I see pictures of bands backstage from huge shows they play. Is this? No, that's not Buffalo. There's too many tiers in the the 200s, 300, whatever. You know what it looks like, and you're gonna, whether you're going or not, you're gonna turn this game on. And then week over week, this is going to happen. It does not look right. It just doesn't. It doesn't look like we're used to it looking. It looks different. I assume we're going to hope it's going to look better. I'm sure we'll grow to like it.
But it never looked bad.
No,
it just was it.
Yeah, it just was.
How long does it take to get used to it? A year?
Boy, I don't know.
Like, they're still. They'll not have snow. Let's hope for a few months.
Right.
There'll be a snow game, and we'll talk about and all find out together like what the impact of that is. When I went out, and I'm not sure if you were there, but maybe you did this separately. When I went out to that stadium experience place at the Walker Center.
See, I didn't even do that.
Okay, I did that, and they were explaining how all this research went into wind direction. And like they think they've been able to mitigate or maybe better predict or whatever it is, like what is going to happen with the wind in the stadium. And so we dig into the Bills on levels that make it interesting to us about like where the wind is blowing, and they'll show the goalposts and those flags like, oh, well, it's swirling winds. Are they still swirling? Are they going to be swirling like they used to be?
I missed this presentation, but I've read plenty about this. I don't know if the word neutralize is too strong.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're after.
Yeah.
And, the early returns during construction were like that it worked. Once they did whatever it was that needed to be done that was supposed to neutralize that on days where it was insanely windy out there inside the stadium, it was not.
And is that good?
I think that's what they're striving for.
I know, but is that good?
I'm going to go with yes.
Don't you miss the days of Kerry Blanchard missing all the field goals, making one of which would have changed the direction of the season for the Jets? Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if there's any way to sort of like, what do you do? How do you get ready? You can't.
Right.
You're going to close your eyes and try to picture it and look at videos and drone shots and different, like, fine, but I don't know what I'm looking at until they're out there in uniforms against, the Lions. Like, okay, well, I've experienced watching the NFL where it's a new stadium. Like, all right, well, I've done that. At least I'm
right
qualified
many
to prepare
times,
for this.
But now this is a new Bills stadium, which is just a whole different thing.
I don't go back to the rock pile. I mean, that's just completely different era. And it's like mud. When I think of videos of games there, it's just like mud. This won't be that. There'll be grass, but no mud.
That's the plan.
You hope so, right?
Can you guarantee no mud? I don't know if you can guarantee no mud.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
If there's mud, they messed it up.
They're in real trouble. There's mud.
Well, anybody have a thought on that? 803-0550. I liked hearing the guys talk about it this morning. You know, in that sort of vein, somewhat, changes, differences about them. So it's a new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on with Theo Greminger on his podcast this morning, and he referenced, we're talking about Shakir, I guess it was, and like, well, it's a new head coach, but well, it's the same offensive coach, it's the same play caller as before, and it's almost entirely the same people, players, not DJ Moore, he's new, but I don't know what's going to be different about the Bills. We'll have Sal on today, and Jim Leonard is their new defensive coordinator, and he'll speak if he hasn't already.
He has already today. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know if he said anything radical because I haven't seen it, but there'll be some, as we've talked about with Sal, there'll be some, technical differences about the Bills' defense. Maybe even like a good amount. I mean, they're maybe going to be very different.
A whole new thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of excited and intrigued by what that's going to all look like and how any of the holdover pieces, as well as the new pieces, guys they've added in the draft or in free agency, how everybody's going to all fit together. And that is a big change. I mean, that they were a very you knew what they were on defense the entire time. I mean, McDermott never really, I shouldn't say he varied. I mean, he worked. However large the box ever expanded to, like there was a certain structure that he worked within. And this is not that. This is more like Rex Ryan. This is more, kind of in your face and trying to dictate and that sort of thing, as opposed to being maybe, well, if it's not too sloppy a use, a little more passive, I think is what, McDermott's calling card was. And it served them well. They had great results, but they are changing to something that's, been very successful. Denver's been very successful the last couple of years. And so do you have the personnel to make that work? I mean, you better hope so, because there's no looking back. I mean, he's the coach now, and you've got guys doing work here. I mean, they're not the most important guys in the franchise or anything, but you've got defensive linemen that are completely changing their bodies. A year after being drafted, in the case of Landon Jackson, like, yeah, put on 25 pounds of muscle, see how that goes.
What's that like?
I don't know. Like I got drafted for my skill set in the 3rd round. Okay, so I wasn't like a can't miss first round guy, but still certain skill set, and a year in with an injury, no less. Hey, we were kind of thinking maybe we should have drafted somebody different. So can you maybe morph into that guy? Sure. That's kind of what that feels like to me. I don't know. It's a little rough around the edges the way I'm putting it, but it's probably not the easiest conversation you'll ever have with a guy.
I mean, if they came to me tomorrow and said, I'm going to need you to put on 25 pounds of muscle, I'm out. It's just like,
it's all over for you.
If I can get out of my deal, I would at that point. There's no way I'm going to do that. He's half my age, so. And,
and I think he's done it.
He's an athlete.
He's already done it, yeah.
And he's already done it.
Yeah.
I think this point about McDermott's defenses, and it's very much a generalization, but is one of the best things about his tenure with the Bills. I mean, when he arrived, I was all the time talking about how you can't predict defense one year after the other because it's just very rarely sustained. The top teams in the league going into a season, the teams with the best defenses are teams I always wanted to bet against because they just can't offense rules the roost. You can't expect to repeat that. It did happen. Seattle did it. A Denver team did it pretty well. But the Bills showed up. He was here 9 years, and they were almost never vulnerable against the pass at all. I mean, and they did get run on, but it didn't really hurt him too much. And I think his understanding of that was a part of his excellence coaching their defense. Last year, they were first in the league in passing yards allowed, and they were always winning. So you have to throw on them. Yes, I know their Jets are in their division. It's only 2 games. Like they were first in the league in passing yards allowed, fewest. And in rushing yards, they were 28th. Well, how many? 13 games. Like that was consistently true. Not exactly, but consistently true through McDermott. And if they want to mess with that or toy with that, might be a fairer way to put it, then we'll see. I mean, that's, to me, something they were ahead of the curve on. Maybe not within the league, but certainly within the discourse. They were ahead of the curve on prioritizing pass defense over run. Because you still hear people talk about stopping the run. They never talk about stopping the pass, stopping the run. It's a cliche that goes back decades. So I don't know. I'm sure they're not planning to be bad against the pass, right? But their schedule is tough.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see what it is. I would expect those two rankings to move to the middle.
Right. And is that going to be a net positive or a net negative in the end? Because if you improve your run defense to, middle of the league, even from 28th, okay, good. But if your pass defense drops from, very near the top to the middle as well, boy, that's not the same. Like that's a much more valuable decrease, I think, if it goes that way.
Our phone lines are open, 803-0550 if you want to discuss it. Sal Capaccio coming up at 4 today. Thanks for joining us. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, WGR.
For more comfort.
Now's the perfect time to make yourself comfortable with a new electric heating and cooling system from Belknap.
In Western New York, summer and winter bring extreme temperature conditions. Make yourself comfortable with Mitsubishi electric heat pumps, designed to keep your home cool in the summer and warm in the winter, no matter how hot or cold it gets outside. Call Belknap today to learn more.
I'm Gary Garfalo, president of Belknap. We work on your schedule. We don't charge more for weekends and evenings. That's why we say,
give Belknap a ring.
And I was on with Theo Greminger on his podcast this morning, and he referenced, we're talking about Shakir, I guess it was, and it's a new head coach, but it's the same offensive coach, it's the same play caller as before, and it's almost entirely the same people, players, not DJ Moore, he's new, but I don't know what's going to be different about the Bills. We'll have Sal on today, and Jim Leonard is their new defensive coordinator, and he'll speak if he hasn't already.
He has already today.
Okay. And I don't know if he said anything radical because I haven't seen it, but there'll be some, as we've talked about with Sal, there'll be some, technical differences about the Bills' defense. Maybe even like a good amount. I mean, they're maybe going
it's
to
a
be
whole
very
new,
different.
a whole new thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of excited and intrigued by what that's going to all look like and how, any of the holdover pieces as well as the new pieces, guys they've added in the draft or in free agency, how everybody's going to all fit together. And that is a big change. I mean, that they were a very you knew what they were on defense the entire time. I mean, McDermott never really, I should say, he varied. I mean, he worked. However large the box ever expanded to, like there was a certain structure that he worked within, and this is not that. This is more like Rex Ryan. This is more kind of in your face and trying to dictate and that sort of thing, as opposed to being maybe, boy, if it's not too sloppy a use, a little more passive, I think is what, McDermott's calling card was, and it served them well. They had great results, but they are changing to something that's, been very successful. Denver's been very successful last couple of years. And so do you have the personnel to make that work? I mean, you better hope so. Because there's no looking back. I mean, he's the coach now, and you've got guys doing work here. I mean, they're not the most important guys in the franchise or anything, but you've got defensive linemen that are completely changing their bodies. A year after being drafted, in the case of Landon Jackson, like, yeah, put on 25 pounds of muscle, see how that goes.
What's that like?
I don't know. Like I got drafted for my skill set in the 3rd round. Okay, so I wasn't like a can't miss first round guy, but still, certain skill set, and a year in with an injury, no less. Hey, we were kind of thinking maybe we should have drafted somebody different. So can you maybe morph into that guy? Sure. That's kind of what that feels like to me. I don't know. It's a little rough around the edges the way I'm putting it, but it's probably not the easiest conversation you'll ever have.
Yeah, we love Max. Huge fan of Max coming out of college as well. And we're not down on any of the corners we had. We needed depth. You have to be able to rush the passer. You have to be able to cover. And we needed more depth in the room in order to do that. Again, IGB is a guy that we saw as a ascending player that gave us a little something different. The size, the length that he has is a little bit different than what we had in the room. That was the biggest thing. It had nothing to do with Max or CB or bringing D in. Like, we need more depth.
Jim Leonard got the nicknames down. He's got the initials and the whole thing. Seems like he has a grasp of Bill's defensive back personnel. Jim Leonard takes over defensive coordinator at age 43. Played here for 3 seasons and then another years later. So he came back for another season late in his career before finishing up with the Browns. And as a coach, I mean, it's really Denver as a passing game coordinator on defense, and then this. Before that, it was all college.
Wisconsin, yeah.
Wisconsin and then Illinois. So, step up for him.
Yep.
I liked him as a player. Those were
Me too.
Square drought years, like right in the
Yeah.
depths of it.
Yep.
But, I don't know why. Can't really explain it, but I remember liking him.
Just a sort of honest, hard-working dude, I think, is how I would. So, was never, ever, like, a
star.
Yeah, right. Just a lunch pail kind of guy.
Like yourself.
Sure. That's what they say. That's what they say.
Are you excited about the concert news today? Did you see this? Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Not sure that I saw.
Ooh.
I'm not sure that I saw concert news today. My concert cup overfloweth here for the next little while. There was a point in time where I was really stressed out about the hockey. I mean, a good kind of stressed out. Like, these are good problems to have. How am I going to do all this? Like, I'm going to have to miss some of this stuff if the Sabres keep going, kind of deal. So I did not see an announcement today. But I would admit that my antenna are not particularly up for announcements because I feel like my calendar is relatively full.
This show is in October.
Okay, well, that's good. Push. I do have one thing already booked into October, but it's only one day, so,
I don't even know if you would be interested in this, like going to it, but you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy this news.
Okay.
You want to play a game?
Sure.
20 questions?
Yeah.
You think you're going to need 20 questions? I don't know. You can figure out from knowing me, like, where the boundaries might be here. There's a lot of concerts you've been to, artists you've seen that I probably never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not that.
Okay.
You want the venue?
The venue is important.
OLG.
OLG, okay.
So kind of big.
I know that room. That's a certain level of artist. However, it is Canada. I don't know. You never know there.
So it's yes or no questions only.
Right. Okay. Well, this is a I'll burn a question on it. It's a musical act.
Yes.
Okay. Is this act known by the most famous person's name in the group, or is there a name of the collective? In other words, is there a band name, or is it like James Taylor?
I'm not sure if that's a yes or no question. I will say I'll help you. It's a person.
Okay, that's a person's name is an easier way to answer that question. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is it Santana?
No. 3. That's a quick. You got to that pretty fast. Santana. So if it were.
So I was thinking of someone that's a name, that's a dude, but it's also been the moniker of a large group of musicians.
Like I said, and I'm already giving you more help than you deserve. It's a person.
Okay.
It could have been Santana. It's not.
It's not Santana. All right.
Would you have wanted to see Santana?
I
what
mean,
would that rate for you?
Not high.
Okay.
Not highly.
Okay.
It's not something that I'm pretty confident I would enjoy it if I went.
Okay.
It's just not, I don't think I would prioritize it. Like, oh God, I got to see Santana before I die.
Okay. Well, that's out.
Which is,
that's not it.
Well,
that's
I'm
not
25 crowd right
No.
now. No. Okay.
I don't think so. I can't speak for KISS listeners.
Would you describe this person as more of a classic rock artist?
Ooh. More of as opposed to what? I'm going to say no.
As opposed to like a contemporary.
No. Well, yes, but
still
classic rock doesn't really.
Okay.
In my mind, I'm not sure I'm right. In my mind, that's not the genre.
Okay. Is this person Phil Collins?
No. Isn't that classic rock though, kind of?
Kind of, but I don't know. Genesis was like a It's hard to really pin down.
All right. You're enjoying yourself here, but you're not getting that close yet.
No, I'm not really.
That's 6.
I'm not really getting that close.
That's 6
at all.
questions.
No, I'm doing a terrible
This
job.
person is coming to Niagara Falls
in October.
All right. And I thought you would enjoy this, so we're dragging it out.
This person, have they had a song that like everyone would know within the last 5 years?
No.
Okay. Same question, 10 years.
No.
Okay. Is this person Alice Cooper?
No. Don't you want to sort of
this person
sort of get it, pare it down a little bit?
I need to.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you.
Did he ever eat a bat's head? No. That's
Okay.
my own question. That's not one of your questions.
No.
Who did that? Ozzy Osbourne did that?
Is this person primarily associated with the piano?
No.
The guitar?
No.
This person is just a singer?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
12 questions. It's a singer who is not known for hits in the last decade.
And not really classic rock. You sort of balked at classic rock.
Right.
But not like contemporary, like not,
That's right.
Not new.
That's right. Decidedly.
Yeah. Okay. Is this person Boy George?
No.
All right. I give up. Who is it?
You give up?
I don't want to.
Ask me if you've seen him before.
Oh, have you seen him before?
I think you have.
I have. Oh,
yes.
Oh, no. Is this person Weird Al Yankovic?
No.
I never saw Weird Al Yankovic.
Every third
perform,
question
but I've
is a
seen
specific name. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I know. Because I want to get it.
You want to get it over with.
You get mostly, yeah. I don't, yeah.
I'm dying to know, I guess I'm about to find out, if you would want to go to this show. You go to a lot of shows.
Yep.
And it would be, I think, nostalgic, but maybe cool. I would love to go to this show. Like, this would be fun for me, not having seen this person before. And I think of him, it puts a smile on my face for like a reason somewhat unrelated to like his actual career.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's getting a little bit vague here,
Yeah,
convoluted. You ready?
I'm going to guess one more name. Is it John Mellencamp?
No.
Okay.
You're like,
because that's someone
decades too recent.
Oh, wow. Wow.
This person was famous in the 60s. I think the height of his fame was probably the 60s.
Is Dion coming to town?
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones. I love Tom. You know I love Tom Jones.
I do know that. That's why we're having this conversation.
I have seen Tom Jones.
You have seen Tom Jones.
In Las Vegas,
Tom Jones. Sorry.
Jones.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Sir Tom Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He was knighted 20 years ago.
Welsh superstar.
Welsh superstar Tom Jones. I think of Supermarket Finds. For me, his greatest performance ever were when he was on Letterman and he sang the theme to Supermarket Finds, which I cannot find.
Oh.
I cannot find that. I see lots of other good with the Spinners. I see there's lots of Letterman on YouTube. I cannot find the Tom Jones. Maybe there was more than one. I can't. Supermarket Finds. Tom Jones just steps out from that side door behind Paul Schaefer. Just jumps in.
Oh, I can see it. 2
minutes, bam, gone.
Yeah.
Hopefully this show's longer than that.
I love Tom Jones. We went to check into the Tropic. This is how long? 98. This is before I'm married to my wife. She trusted me enough to go on a trip to Las Vegas with me. We get the 20th floor of the Tropicana, open the curtains in the room, and we're right across the street from the MGM. And the huge video sign.
Yes.
There's Tom Jones, is performing across the street. I'm like, well, we're going to see Tom Jones.
You so are.
And we did.
He's 85.
It was so great. It was a long time ago now, but it was awesome.
He'll be 86 next week.
So he'll be 86 when he's performing.
Yes. Like, when you think of Tom Jones, in his heyday, he was a mover.
Yeah.
A lot of moves.
He still was a mover in 98, I can tell you that.
He'll be 86 years old. Is the movement still happening for Sir Tom Jones? I need to know.
And is it appropriate?
I mean, it might not be the most appropriate. Who knows what he's got left? I think I need to know. I went to Vegas, and Van Morrison was playing in my hotel that night, and I didn't go. And every time I asked Twitter, like they all said, go. Because then you'll have seen Van Morrison.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I just didn't care that much, but I probably should have. I knew I would regret it. And I mostly do.
Yeah.
I probably, I probably played some, some craps instead.
There could have been.
When can you do that? Really?
1,000 other names on that board outside the MGM when I opened the windows that would have not landed on me at all. But Tom Jones, I was like, I want to see this. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is like the quintessential to me, like guy you go see in Las Vegas. It's
totally
Tom Jones.
Love it.
It's perfect. Like that I have to do. And a bunch of other people that fit that same sort of. I grew up on him. He had a TV show.
He had a TV show.
I love Tom Jones.
Remember TV? He had a TV show.
86
He'll be 86 in early June, so next week.
Still going to be throwing undergarments at him.
You have to be there to find out.
That is incredible.
I don't know if that gets talked about. You have to sort of see it.
That still happened in 1998, I can tell you that.
Tickets go on sale Friday morning.
All right. Tom Jones.
I mean, right?
Yeah, that's hot. I think, maybe. Hopefully.
I think it is, too.
86.
Yes. Anyway, so thanks for playing. Sal Capaccio coming up in 20 minutes. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR. And I was on with Theo Greminger on his podcast this morning, and he referenced, we're talking about Shakir, I guess it was, and it's a new head coach, but it's the same offensive coach, it's the same play caller as before, and it's almost entirely the same people, players, not DJ Moore, he's new, but I don't know what's going to be different about the Bills. We'll have Sal on today, and Jim Leonard is their new defensive coordinator, and he'll speak if he hasn't already.
He has already today. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know if he said anything radical because I haven't seen it, but there'll be some, as we've talked about with Sal, there'll be some, technical differences about the Bills' defense. Maybe even like a good amount. I mean, they're maybe going to be very different.
A whole new thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of excited and intrigued by what that's going to all look like and how any of the holdover pieces, as well as the new pieces, guys they've added in the draft or in free agency, how everybody's going to all fit together. And that is a big change. I mean, that they were a very, you knew what they were on defense the entire time. I mean, McDermott never really, I shouldn't say, he varied. I mean, he worked. However large the box ever expanded to, there was a certain structure that he worked within. And this is not that. This is more like Rex Ryan. This is more, kind of in your face and trying to dictate and that sort of thing, as opposed to being maybe, if it's not too sloppy a use, a little more passive, I think is what, McDermott's calling card was. And it served them well. They had great results, but they are changing to something that's, been very successful. Denver's been very successful the last couple of years. And so do you have the personnel to make that work? You better hope so, because there's no looking back. I mean, he's the coach now, and you've got guys doing work here. I mean, they're not the most important guys in the franchise or anything, but you've got defensive linemen that are completely changing their bodies. A year after being drafted, in the case of Landon Jackson, put on 25 pounds of muscle. See how that goes.
What's that like?
I don't know. I got drafted for my skill set in the 3rd round. Okay, so I wasn't like a can't miss first round guy, but still certain skill set, and a year in with an injury, no less. Hey, we were kind of thinking maybe we should have drafted somebody different. So can you maybe morph into that guy? Sure. That's kind of what that feels like to me. I don't know. It's a little rough around the edges the way I'm putting it, but it's probably not the easiest conversation you'll ever have with a guy.
I mean, if they came to me tomorrow and said, I'm going to need you to put on 25 pounds of muscle, I'm out. It's just like,
it's all over for you.
If I can get out of my deal, I would at that point. There's no way I'm going to do that. He's half my age, so. And
I think he's done it.
He's an athlete.
He's already done it. Yeah.
And he's already done it.
Yeah.
Great day for baseball. Those of you who might be so inclined, 6 o'clock. The Bisons are 6:05. The Bisons are home to Lehigh Valley.
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday, that means $2 hot
That
$2
means
hot dogs.
Something really good about hot dogs. Yeah, good. All right.
Who is Lehigh Valley? Who is their team? I should know.
Phillies?
Maybe.
It's
Can
hard.
I actually just try to look at a AAA roster and know?
Ooh.
That's maybe not.
I definitely could not partake in that.
The Blue Jays optioned Davis Schneider, so we might see him.
All right. Yep.
I'm not sure what the technicalities of that might be, but anyway, not to bog us down further after the Tom Jones incident, but Bisons and Lehigh Valley, first of 6 tonight at 6. $2 hot dogs. There was a no-hitter last night in baseball. That's exciting, isn't it?
How did I miss that?
You did? You missed that too?
Seriously missed
You missed
that.
the Tom Jones news and this?
Yeah.
Wow, you were busy. Well, you slept in.
That was Monday, but yeah, I didn't know about it.
That was Monday.
Who had a no-hitter?
Houston.
All right. Combined 8 guys?
3.
Okay, that's why I didn't know.
At Texas.
I feel like that would have been a headline if it was one guy. Three guys combined on a no-hitter, just kind of whatever. It goes on the list, but
It goes on the list.
Yeah.
How many no-hitters are there ever going to be anymore with only one pitcher? I mean, who goes 9? You could do it. I mean, if you're going for a perfect, they won 9-0. Like if somebody, I don't know who the starter was, but you have an ace going, or just a regular starter, and there's a big lead, and they're not throwing too many pitches, then okay. The third guy, the guy who closed it out last night, his last name is Santa.
Really?
There had to be some fun headlines.
I'll bet.
Santa. First no-hitter for Santa. He's done a lot in his career in life, but now this just keeps adding to his legacy.
It's too bad it's a shared no-hitter. Santa maybe deserves his own no-hitter.
Yes. Tonight we have the Avs and Golden Knights. I threw $10 on Colorado to come back and win it.
From 3-0 down now?
Yes.
You did it now?
The games have been close enough.
Yep.
Is maybe what's up with McCarr, now McKinnon?
McKinnon got hit hard on the knee, and, I mean, he's going to try to play, but he was very ineffective when he came back on Sunday night. McCarr has been McCarr got hurt real early in that Minnesota series and never scored another point. He played through something and then missed the first couple games. Then the coach said something that sounded kind of like "suck it up, princess," which, whoa. I mean, he didn't use that language like I just did. I'm being pretty flippant, but still, it sounded like we need you. Strap it up.
It'll be up to him.
Right.
Coach said.
Right. So he's been kind of a ghost. I mean, those are McKinnon is a lot of people's choice right after McDavid. Right, that's how good a player he is. And I would tell you, for me, the next guy I'm maybe picking, I might even pick him before McKinnon, would be McCarr.
In the whole league,
any position, you give me McDavid and McCarr, I think I would take. Yeah, I mean, those are rock star level guys, and to have them compromised, I mean, it's just. And Vegas is rolling. Vegas has barely lost since Tortorella took over. I think they've lost 4 games. Since 4 in regulation, maybe there's an overtime loss in there too, but 18-4-1 or something like that. For as late as they did that, they really sort of took off once he took over. So there's still a lot of talent there on Vegas. They just did not have a great year, and they're one of these teams that might just be getting right at the perfect time.
Well, Colorado's so good. I mean, just let's see one win and then find out.
Yeah.
Go home down 3-1. We'll see. Sal Capaccio after the update. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR. I think this point about McDermott's defenses, and it's very much a generalization, but is one of the best things about his tenure with the Bills. I mean, when he arrived, I was all the time talking about how you can't predict defense one year after the other because it's just very rarely sustained. The top teams in the league going into a season, the teams with the best defenses are teams I always wanted to bet against because they just can't offense rules the roost. You can't expect to repeat that. It did happen. Seattle did it. A Denver team did it pretty well. But the Bills showed up. He was here 9 years, and they were almost never vulnerable against the pass at all. I mean, and they did get run on, but it didn't really hurt him too much. And I think his understanding of that was a part of his excellence coaching their defense. Last year, they were first in the league in passing yards allowed, and they were always winning. So you have to throw on them. Yes, I know their Jets are in their division. It's only 2 games. Like they were first in the league in passing yards allowed, fewest. And in rushing yards, they were 28th. Well, how many? 13 games. Like that was consistently true. Not exactly, but consistently true through McDermott. And if they want to mess with that or toy with that, might be a fairer way to put it, then we'll see. I mean, that's, to me, something they were ahead of the curve on. Maybe not within the league, but certainly within the discourse. They were ahead of the curve on prioritizing pass defense over run. Because you still hear people talk about stopping the run. They never talk about stopping the pass. Stopping the run. It's a cliche that goes back decades. So, I don't know. I'm sure they're not planning to be bad against the pass, right? But their schedule is tough.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see what it is. I would expect those 2 rankings to move to the middle.
Right. And is that going to be a net positive or a net negative in the end? Because if you improve your run defense to, middle of the league, even from 28th, okay, good. But if your pass defense drops from, very near the top to the middle as well, boy, that's not the same. Like that's a much more valuable decrease, I think, if it goes that way.
Bills back on the practice field this afternoon. OTAs continuing this week, and we did hear from new defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard before the team did take the field. You can listen back to that and hear what he had to say over on the Odyssey app or our website, WGR550.com. Do stay tuned, though. We'll get more on today. Sal Capaccio does join the show next. Around the rest of the NFL, the Supreme Court will not intervene in the discrimination lawsuit led by former Dolphins head coach and current Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores against the NFL, and the case, which does stem from 2022, will proceed toward a trial. Flores sued the league and 3 teams, alleging the league was rife with racism regarding the hiring process. In hockey, Colorado at Las Vegas, Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Vegas is the team that can move on to the Cup Final with a win tonight. Nathan MacKinnon is expected to play for Colorado after he did pick up an injury in Game 3, and then puck drop is at 9. But looking forward a little bit to the offseason, Evgeny Malkin not going to be a free agent this year. He signs a 1-year deal worth $5.5 million to stay with Pittsburgh. In the NBA, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, that series is tied 2-2 between OKC and San Antonio. Game tonight is in Oklahoma. Tip-off is at 8:30, and following last night, we do already know who the Eastern Conference representative is going to be in the finals as the Knicks swept Cleveland. Then in baseball, Bison's home against the Iron Pigs, first pitch at 6:05, while in the majors, Blue Jays host the Marlins and the Mets have Cincinnati in town. Both those games will start right after 7 o'clock, while the Yankees, they're in Kansas City. That game will start at 7:40. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
OTAs, organized team activities. Organized team activities. Not just team activities, Bulldog. These are organized team. This is not just everybody just come over when you want.
There'd be no point in having team activities if they were disorganized.
We'll put a ball out. There's a goalpost.
counterproductive.
No, it's got to be organized. No doubt these are. Joe Brady's first kick at being a head coach, as we know. Sal Capaccio out at the stadium or thereabouts today for these activities, and he joins us now on the Wester Hotline. Nice day for it, Sal.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful out there today. Well, I don't know, mid-70s was it today? I'm not really sure the exact temperature, but really nice and warm, and it was nice to kind of have some warm, dry weather after, most of last week, and last weekend was so wet.
I know that we had Jim Leonhard speaking to reporters at a certain point today, and we'll ask you to talk about what you think might have been interesting from him. Before that, though, on the field, what might have stood out?
Several missed guys not there that you notice that aren't, some that weren't there last week, a couple more this week. Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown in the offensive line, James Cook, Dorian Williams, Cole Bishop, Christian Benford, Dawson Knox wasn't there today. He was last week, but those are things that stand out to me. As far as when I first walk out there and see things, and then I'll say that guys working off to the side, especially Michael Hoyt, I think we talked about him last week, some of the things that he's doing, certainly catching my attention where he is working right now. And then I think from an organized team activity standpoint, practice standpoint, a lot of the 2 weeks in a row I've seen them do like a competition kind of while the media was out there, and they have these competitions. They talked about the tug of war they've had. This one was more of a large kind of a big circle, each one. There were 2 of them, and there were several guys on offense, several guys on defense, mostly linemen, I think, who did it. And they'd have to, kind of like when you're in grade school and you have to maybe run to a certain spot and then the next person goes. This was, you had to run around the circle, then the next person would go, and then and they had a bunch of stuff like that. Who would win, the offense against the defense, and everybody getting into that kind of, so to speak. That was kind of cool to see that happening. And today they did a lot of red zone work, and David Igbinosun, the rookie, picked off Josh Allen and took it to the house for a pick 6.
So far, career highlight probably for him.
Yeah, well, listen, I will say, though, 2 plays later, Josh threw a touchdown against David Igbinosun. And I don't know if it was intentional that he did that, you know what I mean? But he did throw a touchdown to Khalil Shakir. The next 2 plays, actually, Josh threw touchdowns, one to Keon Coleman, one to Khalil Shakir, and the one to Shakir was specifically against IGB.
I'm really hung up and distracted by trying to decipher whether what you described the Bills doing was duck, duck, goose. Because that's what it kind of sounded like, duck, duck, goose to me. But
they weren't touching each other like that on the heads. Okay, they weren't sitting down like that. Bulldog, that's funny. But it reminded me of that. Like when you're in school and your gym teacher says, okay,
right.
you're this team's over here, this team's over there, and the next person, when you get around the circle, the next person can go, and they kind of did it like that.
Duck, duck, goose seems like a game where we wouldn't have had to change the name. Like a lot of these things,
yeah, right.
You can't call it what you used to call it.
I think we're pretty much in the clear with
but
ducks
I feel
and
like
ducks and
ducks
goose.
and geese are.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't see the lobbyists getting involved in that.
I think we're okay. Yeah, I don't think it's a threat to their health. These birds, I think it's probably fine.
It's a legacy, isn't it?
You don't know if a goose has actually been offended yet and said anything to anybody, though. I will tell you.
That's right.
Maybe we should stop talking about it and move on.
It's safer that way.
Quit. Walk before they make us run, Sal. That's what I always say. Sal Capaccio on the Wester Hotline. Did you, by the way, you led with attendance, which is kind of typical of these things, but I just want to ask, is that what you notice first just because it's maybe most interesting to fans who's there, who's not there? Or is there a longer list of guys that aren't there at this time this year than normal?
It feels like it's longer than normal, but I'm not positive. I'd have to go back and check my notes or tweets from years past, to be honest with you on that. The first reason is the main reason, Bulldog, which is I know fans want to know, was this guy there? Was that guy there? Or who wasn't there, I guess, right?
Right.
But this is a slippery game you play with fans and putting it out there because I have a video. So I just posted a whole bunch of video at Sal Sports. You can see it. It's on X. And one of them is I have video of the running backs. And I got, okay, here's the running backs. They're doing a little drill here. Here's Ray Davis, Frank Gore Jr., Desmond Reed, Ty Johnson, and then I wrote, no James Cook today. And literally like 3-4 responses right away. Is he holding out again? I mean, no. I mean, not that I know. First of all, you can't hold out. It's voluntary. Like, there's no holdouts until you have to be somewhere. Other people have pointed out his Instagram story says he's in Buffalo. Well, yeah, I also know Spencer Brown is in Buffalo. I saw him today with street clothes on at the end of practice walkout. Cole Bishop was in the field house today. He didn't practice. So that's a slippery game, and I even debate putting it out, but I think it's information that people want to know. Like if certain guys were or weren't there, and most notable guys, right? So Dion and Spencer Brown are your two tackles, and neither have been at the two practices that we've been able to watch. That's the other point of it, which is we only get one a week. I believe from what I've heard, Ed Oliver was at one of the other practices, but we didn't see him. So last week we're like, Ed Oliver's not there. Today, Ed Oliver's not there. Guess who showed up at the end? Ed Oliver, not in pads, but he was there and he was watching. So maybe he participates tomorrow for all I know.
One of my favorite things about Twitter is that,
yes,
if Sal knew that James Cook were holding out and was willing to report it, don't you think he would?
Right.
Does somebody need to press you on that? People must think they need to press you on that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention there's a holdout. I was going to man, I forgot. I should have mentioned that. Of course you would have mentioned that if that were what you
and there's
were here
no
to say.
Mike, to your point, James Cook last year, that was a story. Like we knew there was a contract situation.
Yes.
Like that was a story at the combine, it was a story at the owners meetings, it was a story leading into the draft, would they trade him? So when he didn't show up, we all kind of knew what the deal was. That's not a story this year. My guess is James Cook is training and doing something somewhere else. And guess what? Honestly, like last year, James Cook didn't do any of the offseason voluntary stuff until he had to be there at mandatory, and then he led the league in rushing.
It's just like if you knew that, and you would, like, of course you would say it.
Right.
All right, Sal. Jim Leonard, what did you get?
He was asked some questions just about specific players. He also said something interesting, which is when, he starts the job, he has a vision of where you want it to be. And he said something about in year one, you're not going to completely get there. So you take what you have and you put it together. And I don't know, it sound when you say that, it's like, well, wait a minute, it's going to take a little while for this defense, but I don't think he's trying to say that. I think he's just saying, look, you have guys here that might not be the ultimate fit for what we want a few years from now. It doesn't mean they can't play in what we're doing. It doesn't mean that we're trying to reset here, but it was an interesting quote nonetheless, meaning when he becomes a defensive coordinator, and has a new team he takes over and they're switching defenses, he's not going to have all of the exact pieces and parts that he might envision wanting to eventually have, as a full breadth of talent, basically. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, I think, one of the biggest questions facing this team, and which is a lot to say considering you've got a team with a brand new head coach and a first-time head coach at that.
Yep.
But, that side of the ball is, there's, of course, DJ Moore is here, and there'll be a new left guard, but, mostly I think we kind of know who they are, what they are, based on Joe Brady's 2 years as coordinator. On the other side of the ball, yeah, it's hey, Landon Jackson, go put on 25 or 30 pounds. Dwayne Carter, you too, and sort of see if we have guys that can fit roles for this thing. And if that doesn't work, then I don't know. I don't think the season hinges on those two guys, but it just is indicative of what they feel they need to try to find to fill out a Jim Leonard defensive front.
Yeah, and so one thing, this morning I was on with Jeremy and Joe, and we were talking about this very thing, and I said, we're going to get twisted up, and we have to retrain our brains on how we talk about some of these guys and the positions they play and what their roles are, but specifically even labeling them. Is that guy an end? Is he a tackle? What is he? Outside linebacker, edge rushers? And part of it is because I wrote State of the Bills, and even me, I'm writing this article. It's State of the Bills, and I wrote about edge rusher / outside linebacker because I'm well, what do I call them now, right?
Right.
Are they edge rushers? Are they defensive ends? Are they outside linebackers? And we have to kind of figure out, first of all, where these guys play, and then kind of figure out, how do we term them is the other piece of it. So I specifically asked Jim Leonard today, how do you term it? What do you call Landon Jackson now? So here's Landon Jackson, for example, to use your example, and I use the same guy, Bulldog. So he's playing what he says the 4-eye. What's the 4-eye? The 4-eye technique is inside shoulder of the offensive tackle. It's a 4 technique, but the inside of a 4. So 4-eye. So when you have him there, he's outside the nose tackle, but there's another guy standing up outside of him. What do we call him? And his answer was, he agreed. He's yep, it can be confusing, right? He said they are defensive ends actually in the system, but when anybody puts their hand on the ground and they're going against guys, basically tackle to tackle, you can just call them defensive tackles. So they're interior defensive linemen. And then you have the outside linebackers / edge rushers who are kind of your traditional defensive ends, but they don't call them that in this scheme. So all of this stuff that we talked about gets baked in, who plays where, what do they do? Landon Jackson not only is going to be a 4-eye, he's going to also be a 5 technique, which is outside shoulder of the tackle. And when that happens, there might not be a guy outside of him, by the way. There might not be a tight end there, so he's the last guy on the line. All of this stuff is going to be very confusing until we understand after watching the defense actually play.
This might come off as unfair, but I somewhat mean it as a compliment to Leonard. I wonder what we'll have when cuts happen, which I know is not until September. But Leonard, as a player, was the only Bills player to make the team after not being drafted. He's the only undrafted free agent to make the roster. And I wonder if there are...
That year, you mean, right?
That year, 2005. I wonder if there might be a name or two, likewise, that were not players who were not drafted, that he would be from my personal experience, I made it. It's how he has this career. Probably it's certainly helped that he had a 10-year career in the NFL or whatever it was. So, that might be something to think about down the road.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of the undrafted guys now. Actually, there is an undrafted linebacker, inside guy named Theron Gaines. He actually had an interception in red zone today. He made a play, right? He stands out. You make a play, you stand out, people notice you, and you talk about it a little bit. On your outside corners, you have Kari Walker, and Jordan Dunbar. Do they have a chance? Because, honestly, I still think they're a little thin at outside corner. What do you have? You have Christian Benford, Max Harrison, Davison Igbinosun, IGB. And then what's after that? We don't know. I'm guessing Dorian Strong won't be available, but we don't know that. Daryl Porter Jr., Toriano Pride, there's definitely opportunity for another outside corner on this roster, and maybe it comes in the form of an undrafted free agent.
Also, by the way, Bulldog, he retired from Wisconsin as the league leading, the conference record holder in punt return yards for his career, Leonard. That's not going to probably come into play here as defensive coordinator,
Right.
but it held for a couple of years. But he retired from Wisconsin as the Big Ten career leader in punt return yards.
He returned a few punts here, I think, as a Bill, probably elsewhere in his NFL career too. So on corner, I think it's so interesting. You just the phrasing you just used. You think maybe they still might be a little short on outside corner. Have we ever collectively missed harder going into a draft a position? Because now we're like, I feel like when corner was selected, when they chose IGB like they did a lot. I didn't expect corner this early, and then they did it. Picked another one later on. And now you got Leonard here talking about how, the different skill set, and Igbenison has is a little longer, rangier, that kind of thing. And how, we're all sort of nodding along going, their corner depth was a problem. I guess we should have seen that coming. And I think before the draft, it wasn't even a position that we talked very much, as I recall anyway. But now it totally makes sense what they did, I think.
Yeah, I think the eye-opening comment was after the draft, at some point during the draft, whenever it was, when Brandon Beane said when they looked at their roster, they felt their overall number one need was corner. Now, what people hear sometimes when you say that, and I get it, is them thinking, okay, that means top of the roster, you need a guy, you got to put him in. It's not what he was saying. What he was saying is what you just said, which is they needed depth. They had two guys. After that, it's are we bringing Trey White back? What do we have right there? There really there was nobody. We don't know about Dorian Strong. You can't count on that right now. Their number one positional need overall from a roster standpoint, from the top to bottom of each position, was corner, outside corner going into the draft. That's what Brandon Beane said. So they made IGB a early draft pick. Later on, they draft Toriano Pride. And I agree with you that it was not. Now, I remember coming on with you guys a lot, and I would say, yeah, they're going to have to find another outside corner. They'll probably do that before the end of the draft. Right. I didn't think they would go that early because, to me, by drafting one that early, you did what is happening now, which is people wondering, what do they feel about Max Hairston, right? And that was actually asked to Jim Leonard today. Like, what by drafting IGB, because we hadn't talked to him since the draft, like, what does that mean about Max Hairston? And he was very quick to point out he was a fan of Max Hairston coming out of the draft. Loved his speed, really liked him a lot. He said, it doesn't mean we're down on anybody. And then he said, we really felt we had to have more depth at that position. And then he said, and he brings more of things we don't have in that room as far as his length and those other kind of traits. So, yeah, you're right. I think it was a position that we overlooked for how early they could take one, and then they ultimately did.
Who does, if there's one name, if you gave Leonard this question, he probably would name more than one person. But who is like his, might he say, primary influence as a defensive coordinator? Bulldog was talking earlier, we're talking about McDermott's defenses and this philosophical shift that we expect. And he said, maybe just think more like Rex Ryan. Mm-hmm. And he played for Rex Ryan with the Jets. Do you happen to know who he would sort of put at the top of his list in this area?
I would say Rex Ryan.
Okay.
He not only did he play with Rex, he came back, right? Rex brought him back here when Rex was here, right at the end when Rex got hired. What year was that? Wasn't that
13? Is that Rex yet?
Yeah.
Or
no,
Marone?
That would be Marone.
Yeah.
He went. I think he played with Rex in a couple different stints.
Yeah, I feel like he in Baltimore with Rex, like at the very beginning.
Then the Jets, maybe.
Yeah,
Jets for sure.
I know he was with Rex. If he wasn't with Rex here, that would really surprise me.
Right, he was not here yet when Leonard made his comeback to the Bills. Okay. But still.
And then Vance Joseph, I think, I mean they've been together here, right? But I'm trying to think. I think Bradley Chubb talked about Vance Joseph when they were in Miami or when he first started there, but he's been under him. But I think Rex would be the biggest influence that he would have in this regard, Jim Leonard.
Okay. Do the Bills have, so tomorrow, I know you can't watch, but maybe they'll play like Le Clorox or something, Bulldog, where we have Duck, Duck, Goose. You ever play Le Clorox in, Jim?
I don't know.
I don't know what Le Clorox is.
I have no idea what that is.
So my one gym teacher, we didn't have lacrosse sticks. So he took and maybe he just did this himself, took a bunch of Clorox bottles, like the big bleach bottles, and cut the bottoms out. So you had basically a version of a handle of a lacrosse stick that would catch the ball and throw it.
Almost like a highlight.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
We should have called it La Highlight or something.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
La Clorox. Well, keep an eye out for that, Sal, if you get another look at the Bills anytime soon.
We played a game under in gym class. My former gym teacher, who founded the Trench Trophy, Carl Curris, who the Cleveland Field is named after, and I say that because he was such a great influence in my life, and I would talk about him all day and all the incredible things he did. And he was such a funny guy, but he made up a game that we played called Triangular Animalistic Dodgeball.
Okay.
As you can imagine, by the name, the way that it sounds, it was freaking awesome. Yes.
Did he write that on the chalkboard when you walk into the gym?
No, you just knew by the way that the tape was on the floor, right? Like we're playing and what it was you basically had a small area and there were 4 triangles, so you're like cutting it up like a square, but it's triangles. And your team, you were 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you just basically had to stay in your triangle, and people were just whipping dodgeballs at you.
It's a fun idea. I feel like by the use of the word animalistic, he's just showing off. He's just showing off. You really don't need animalistic as a title.
That's right.
But good for him. I'm doubting that you ever met Manny Fernandez. I know you were in Florida a long time. Miami Dolphins.
I don't believe I have.
I don't think I ever did. He might have been at that golf tournament where Garrow was there, Bulldog, but I don't remember talking to Manny Fernandez. He died today or yesterday. Dominant defensive line presence on back-to-back Super Bowl winners for Miami, Super Bowl 7 and 8. Armando Salguero described him as a gentleman in a tweet, Fernandez. Also, the worst late hit I've ever seen in the history of football.
Really?
Yes. The worst late hit I've ever seen. If you asked me that question, this would be my immediate answer is the Sea of Hands. Clarence Davis for the Raiders in that classic AFC playoff game that ends the Dolphins' run in 74. And, it's a kind of it's a duck, Stabler just desperately lobs the ball into the end zone. Davis comes down with it and rolls around, and he's got it, and like an hour goes by. And then here comes Manny Fernandez, just jumps on him head first, just trying to anything to try to get the ball out.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I don't think I ever met him either. And I know he was a fine player, but that's the worst late. Do you guys have this? The worst late hit you've ever seen in football?
I don't have another one that comes to mind.
No flag. No. It was enough for the Raiders to get the win. They didn't, need the flag.
Right.
I don't think I have a worse late hit I've ever seen. And I'd have to think about that one.
How about Charles Martin on Jim McMahon?
That's
he sort of just throws him.
Yeah.
It's not even
was
it's not really late. It's more just like the play's going, it's an interception or whatever. He's vulnerable. And he's maybe one of the main reasons they put the rules in about those blindside block type plays.
Okay.
Well, he picked him up and slammed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he separated his shoulder, right? And then remember they had the hit list? Charles Martin had the hit list on his towel.
Right.
And McMahon's name was on it.
Right.
Does the name Turkey Jones ring a bell?
It should.
Bradshaw for the Browns.
Okay.
Did something similar to that on Bradshaw. Turkey Jones.
Okay, so you say Turkey. So different era now. Okay, of course, different era. Like, would have to be stated. But when I was growing up playing football, you were taught to go to the whistle. And if you didn't go to the whistle, you could get a turkey shot. Don't stand around like a turkey. It was why they would call it a turkey shot. So if you're standing around and the whistle hadn't blown and someone even well away from the play just comes in and cleans your clock, that's your fault because you're a turkey and that's a turkey shot.
It's a whole nother era. That's right.
Yes.
That's like blaming Tim Connolly for his hit in Ottawa.
Yeah, exactly right, but different era.
Careful.
That's right.
Be more careful.
Why is it his fault? What did he do? Just playing the game. Somebody cheap shots him, not his fault. All right. Nice chat, Sal. Thanks for your time today.
You got it, guys. Thanks.
That's our Sal Capaccio on the Bills Beat. As always, his appearances with us brought to you by New York's only outlet liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What's your outlet?
Turkey Jones.
Turkey shots.
La Clorox. Duck Duck Goose.
Tom Jones.
Off-season. Yeah. Sir Tom Jones. Should we have asked Sal about him?
It's only been not even 90 minutes.
Crazy.
A lot has happened.
So much fun. That's a 3-day weekend effect.
Yeah, there's that.
I was thinking maybe some reverse AFC power rankings today as well.
What do you know? Holy cow.
It's been more than 2 months.
You're still allowed to do that? All right.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. Forgiveness, not permission. Just go with it.
Yeah, you just do it. Yeah.
All right. How's 5 for you?
I'm free.
There it is. 803-0550. The Bills on defense, the upcoming season. Bulldog said he slipped this in right before the weekend. Something about, like, kind of being worried for the Bills. It would be worth exploring that. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. Lines open for your calls. This is WGR.
We're back on the practice field earlier this afternoon as OTAs continue this week. And before the team took the field, we did hear from new defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard. And you can listen back to that and hear what he had to say over on the Odyssey app or our website, WGR550.com. Some playoff action today in the NHL. Colorado at Las Vegas, Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Vegas can move on to the Cup Final with a win tonight. Nathan MacKinnon is expected to play for Colorado tonight after picking up an injury in Game 3. And then puck drop is at 9 o'clock tonight. Looking ahead, though, towards free agency, Evgeny Malkin not going to be on the market as he signs a one-year deal worth $5.5 million to stay with Pittsburgh. In the NBA, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals tonight. Series is tied 2-2 between OKC and San Antonio. Game tonight is in Oklahoma. Tip-off is at 8:30. And less than a month away, the 2026 World Cup, which is hosted by the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, will kick off. And earlier today, the U.S. unveiled its 26-man roster for the 48-team tournament. The U.S.'s first game will be Friday, June 12th, when they take on Paraguay in Los Angeles. And then in baseball, Bison's home against the Iron Pigs. First pitch just after 6 o'clock. And you can listen to that over on our sister station, the Bet 1520. That's Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
I had a vision for what I want it to be, and it might not totally get there in year one. We have to be real as far as who we have, what their skill sets are, and I have to be flexible as well as them. And that's where that overload philosophy was. Like, let's push a lot of stuff at them and really stress them out mentally and schematically what we think we're going to be able to do, and then just start to dial it in as we get closer to week one.
Jim Leonhard, now in charge of the Bills defense, late of Denver, where he coached for 2 seasons. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, 803-0550. The opener is September 13th, so you still have a little time. The World Cup opener is, I believe, June 11th. Right? It's 2 weeks, basically.
Right,
2 weeks and change at the beginning of the World
that's,
Cup.
That's closing in. Yeah.
And it runs pretty long because of the added, it always does, but it's a bigger field now. So mid to late July for the final. I know the guys in the morning were talking about it, and someone guessed July 4th for the final, but it's more than 2 weeks after that. I knew that because, and I think a lot of people have done something similar to this. When the schedule came out, maybe I'd like to go to one of these games. Where's good? And there's an elimination game, maybe like the round of 16 or even a quarterfinal, so you wouldn't know who the teams are, in Philadelphia on July 4th, which is the 250th birthday of the country. Or do you prefer anniversary?
Philadelphia, I like birthday. Philadelphia would seem like a pretty appropriate place to celebrate such an occasion.
Yes. So we've got friends there, and it's, even drivable. Like, what about that? But the prices. That's got to come down.
Ticket prices.
It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I'm not tracking the market because the idea kind of came and went. But there's got to be some good deals, relatively good deals coming on the World Cup ticket market because everybody's telling the same story, which is just like they're insanely expensive.
Yeah, you could hope, you should hope that happens. But the story that sort of put me over the edge on paying attention to all of that wasn't even about the tickets themselves. It was about transit fares from like maybe Midtown out to New Jersey. Because MetLife Stadium is hosting games, and like I don't want to exaggerate too much, but I think if I say that they jacked like a $15 round trip ride up 100 times, I don't think I'd be exaggerating too much. Like I think they went from like a $15 ticket to like a $300 ticket or something.
Okay. For
this round trip for just that commuters have been using for decades. Good times. I mean, whatever the market will bear. Okay, I know. Wow.
Well, we don't know if the market will bear that.
Yet. Like that, the story I read got to like people considering trying to walk. Can I walk? Is it walkable from like Penn Station
to New Jersey?
To New Jersey?
No, not really.
I mean, could you do it? Yes.
I don't know the city that well.
Is it a good idea? No. It is absolutely not a good idea.
Could you do it? Maybe?
Sure.
I watched a video on this morning. It took just under 5 hours, and the answer is kinda. You're not really supposed to be able to do that.
A 5-hour walk?
5-hour walk. Yeah, right. Is there like
For a
parts
soccer
where
game.
you're on like highway on-ramps and that's where you're not supposed to be?
Sidewalks just disappear.
Right.
Yeah.
You just,
Yikes.
So, don't do that. If you're planning to find an alternative, but
I will not be doing that.
Maybe the price of those tickets. There was an uproar about it. Maybe that got addressed. I don't know, but
sounds like maybe the idea of walking from my house to the Sabres games.
Yeah, that's about right.
It'd probably be less than 5 hours. 15 miles, if that. 12 miles.
Yeah, it's not 15 miles from your house to downtown.
12,
right? Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I know that when my son applied to school in the city, it was like relevant how many miles away we were from the school for bus purposes. Like you can't just be, they're not going to pick you up if you lived in Lewiston or something, but we were just within. Why can't Montreal get shots on goal? These numbers are crazy in this series. And they're close games. They've won one of the games and gone to overtime twice. But the shot disparity is nuts.
You're about a 4-hour walk from your house.
Okay, well,
if you can
that's about
average
what I
like a
thought.
20-minute mile walking, which is, reasonable. I mean, it's not super fast walking.
That's what I thought. A little bit less than
if it's 12
the
miles.
New York City
Yeah, probably.
experiment, but not a lot less.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Why can't
about
Montreal get even shots on goal?
I don't know. Good question.
You think they're done?
No, I don't think they're done. I think that series is too tight. There's enough high-end talent there. I mean, they were whatever. It was an easy call in the end, but they were a reviewed goal away from taking the lead in the third period, despite their lack of shots. I fell asleep. 2-2 end of regulation. Like, okay, and what I thought was right turned out to be right. They had 2 shots on goal after the second period. So third period and overtime. And overtime went 14 minutes, I think, in that neighborhood. Unless I've got that wrong. The goal wasn't scored with like 5 minutes in. I think it was 14. Anyway.
Oh, look.
I saw the final shot tally at 13. I'm like, I swear I was watching this game when they had 13 shots on goal. It's just did not. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, Carolina, we know Carolina's resume, right? They're going to have the puck a lot. They're going to hammer you with shot attempts from all over. So, like, that's part of it. But this goes back. I mean, they won a Game 7 against Tampa with 9 shots. They didn't have a ton of shots against the Sabres in their Game 7 win, I don't think, right?
They got buried in attempts.
Yeah. So they've been getting away with it, but it's obviously not optimal. I mean, you'd like one of the reasons I kind of liked them in this series is I thought really Carolina hadn't seen a team offensively as talented as this Montreal team is. And so what does that mean to the goaltending, the defensive structure overall? And they're just not challenging them enough. But even still, we're talking about overtime games here. So I wouldn't say Montreal's done. I mean, it's worth pointing out it's the first time all playoffs they've lost 2 games in a row. They traded the entire Tampa series.
They won 2 in a row against the Sabres, 2 and 3.
Right.
But didn't lose 2
Never
in a row.
lost 2 in a row.
That Game 3 in Montreal was the last home win in that series. Unfortunately. It's only been a week.
I know. I was thinking about this yesterday quite a bit.
Like last night was a week, right?
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
It's always been Monday to me today. Last night was a week. I mean, I had no, particular inclination to sort of like use the Sabres as a topic today at length. Like we still could. Haven't talked about it much at all though yet. And I guess I have to remind myself that we can do that now, even though like the season is over.
Right.
And
they still might be
still
on
not
people's
that
minds.
long ago that it ended.
Yeah.
I was looking through my pictures today and last week taking pictures of the party in the plaza and just the scenes down there. But yeah, it's still pretty recent.
Well, I definitely could see the same sort of series unfolding here. I don't know that Buffalo would be, 13 shots, but they had their fair share of struggles generating shots, actual shots on goal, enough that I could see it being similar enough, and you'd have a chance. I'm loving this round in part. Like, I don't want to root for Vegas really at all. Like, just there's a kind of a decent list of stuff that could, fact that they're so new and they're on the verge of going to the final yet again here for a third time in their existence already is pretty incredible and annoying to someone who's, living here for all these years and, we've got few and far between. There's just that, but outweighing that for me is the reminder that as incredible as Colorado looked all year long, it's still hockey. Like, it felt, I'm sure, if you got into a conversation that lasted long enough with someone about where the Sabres were headed, you'd get to, if you could get this person to get past Carolina, they were going to go, oh, yeah, but Colorado. And, who knows? Colorado might not even be standing there. They're down 3-0.
You know as well as anyone you can really never do that.
And I love that being, as we're all getting reacclimated, I don't know how many of you are still hanging in there and watching the playoffs that wouldn't have been otherwise, but maybe the Sabres reignited the fire, and so you're hanging in there. Just remember, right? There's no team is too good. It's hockey. Nobody's now. The complicating factor is here that they've got, we already mentioned this, the big injuries. Makar and McKinnon are, in my opinion, two of the best three players on the planet. And at the top of your lineup, they're giving you very little because they're compromised. And you couldn't have foreseen that. They're like, oh, they'll be damaged by the time they get there. But again, it's hockey. It's hard. They play a lot of games. And how did McKinnon get hurt? They're up 3-0. He's thrown himself in front of a shot and just takes it in the wrong place off a knee, and maybe their season's over.
It's not that you can never make the assumption that somebody down the line is too good, but you shouldn't. It's not even worth the effort. First of all, it's a pessimistic attitude to begin with, other than, if you're just looking at it objectively, but it's if not objective, then it's necessarily pessimistic. Oh, well, why do I need to make the playoffs? I'm going to lose anyway. Mm-hmm. Something like that. In sports, you learn not to do that, not to take things for granted. In basketball, you can almost do it. In hockey, you never should.
Right.
In baseball, you never should. In football, it's more predictable, but still. In basketball, you can kind of do it.
Yeah,
this team is better.
If you thought the Cavaliers were down 3-0, you were right because they lost by 40.
Or if you thought they were done before it started.
Right. Right. Also fine.
I don't know. You didn't have to think that. I didn't have an opinion of my own, but yeah, it's a more predictable sport. But hockey, right. Just throw out those record books. They're useless. I told you I have a bet on the Avs to make a comeback, but it's just because of the price.
Right. I
see if they can win a couple.
Yeah.
Then it's interesting. Even if you win one, it's interesting going home.
Sure, that's right.
Depending on how they look doing it. If those guys look healthy, then they won't be – they could win the night. They won't be the series favorite if they win the night, but they'd come close to that if they won Game 5. If they won Games 4 and 5 nicely, I think that could be like a coin flip on the betting line to win the series. Maybe.
I agree, yeah. 3-2 after 5 games. I think the favorite might sort of get slid back into that.
And one of the teams left is the Avalanche.
Right.
If they look good.
Right.
That'll be interesting to see. If you notice a rattle in your ducts or a rise in your heating and cooling bills, give Belknap a ring with 0% financing. The cost of upgrading to a high-efficiency dual-fuel heating system is a breeze. Learn more at belknapheating.com. That's belknapheating.com. Go green, save energy, and save money with Belknap. Schedule a free estimate on your new installation. Give Belknap a ring, 688-1728. For more comfort and less ka-ching, give Belknap a ring. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here at 803-0550. This is WGR.
Summer often means your driveway becomes more than just
pretty miserable season so far for the Blue Jays. Wearing a Blue Jays logo today. 4 games under, 10.5 out of first. Lost big to Miami in Toronto last night. Miami has a team. Vlad Guerrero missed the game. He's not going to play tonight either. There's an elbow issue. Was that rude of me to say Miami has a team? They do have 2 World Series titles, the Marlins. They were not called Miami
right
either time, but
other than those 2, which happened, it's documented, they did win.
I watched it.
They have mostly been terrible.
Right. They've either won the World Series the 2 times or, I don't know, have they ever lost in the playoffs? Probably. They've probably made the playoffs and lost.
Ooh,
that's
a good question.
They have made the playoffs 4 times.
Okay.
In 34 years.
And twice they've won the World Series. Yeah, okay.
They didn't have as many rounds to win then, but
that's right.
Still.
Yep. So no, I was not. You didn't annoy me by saying that. I can tell you that.
Well, that's good.
Not too bad for Toronto. It's still, I don't know. It's it's
You
Memorial
caught yourself.
Day.
That's right.
It's early. No, it's Memorial Day. We're past Memorial Day.
They have more than 100 games left.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
It's a lot. They weren't really great early last year either. Like it took a while, but still, there's a lot going wrong. Now Cease is hurt too. There's a lot going wrong for the Blue Jays, which is not shocking. They were not like a preseason darling this year.
Yeah, like they weren't a lock to like follow through on last year's big year, right?
No, not at all. Who is good? Your Rays. They are flying. They lost yesterday, but your Rays. You might have to watch a game.
I'm not going to do it. Why would I do it?
Well, they're on the road now. You could do that.
Well, sure.
Get to know the Rays.
I do suppose. I watched a good. I had the Yankee. I'd say I watched the entire Yankee game, but there was probably a nap
yesterday
in there somewhere yesterday. Yeah, but it was a thing I turned on right as the first inning was beginning, and I watched it to the end. And the end was pretty good. I mean, the Royals had a go-ahead homer in the 8th, and then the Yankees got 2 in the 9th, and then closed it out. And I was there for that. So it's possible I could get to Tampa. But just no.
They were just in New York. And I watched a game maybe Sunday where it was like scoreless late. And Judge hit a home run to win it. Is that Sunday? I don't know. I don't know dates. Saturday, Sunday, it's holiday weekend. It's one of those.
I don't know. It's
one of those games.
What day? I don't know. Was yesterday the first game of a series between the Yankees and Royals? Okay, so that's
the Rays had an interesting run called back. I might want to bring this up later, but no time now. How about some reverse AFC power rankings next?
Back on the practice field today as OTAs continue to roll along this week for the Bills, and we did hear from new defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard before the team took the field. You can listen back to what he had to say over on the Odyssey app or our website, WGR550.com. And for more on today, also at our website, Sacapaccio has a piece, again, up at our website, WGR550.com. Playoff action tonight, Colorado at Las Vegas, Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Vegas can move to the Cup Final with a win tonight. Nathan McKinnon, though, expected to play for Colorado after picking up an injury in Game 3. And puck drop tonight is at 9. And then looking a little bit ahead towards free agency, Evgeny Malkin, not going to be on the market. He signs a one-year deal worth $5.5 million to stay in Pittsburgh. Then over in the NBA, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. That series is tied 2-2 between OKC and San Antonio. Game tonight is in Oklahoma with tip-off at 8:30. Then in baseball, Bison's home against the Iron Pigs. First pitch just after 6. While in the majors, Blue Jays host the Marlins and the Mets have Cincinnati in town. Both those games start just after 7 o'clock, while the Yankees, they're in Kansas City. That game starts at 7:40. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for West New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Why not? Someone tell me, why not? 2 months plus since the last edition of Reverse AFC Power Rankings. I mean, there's not a lot of news, I have to admit, but 2 months is too long.
Well, we never did it after the draft.
Right.
Nor did we do it because we were
Sabres.
Loving the Sabres so much. Nor after the schedule release. These are key signposts on the Reverse AFC Power Rankings off-season calendar.
Totally.
That got completely swallowed whole by the Sabres advancing to the second round of the NHL playoffs.
That's right.
That's simply what happened.
I mean, I say why not because it's not like we're jammed with other stuff right now. The Sabres season ended, of course. Why not during the second round? Well, there would a good answer to that. Like, that's why not.
Right. Why not? That.
That's why not.
What
That's
do you
right.
need? What do you need to know?
What else is there to say, really?
Right.
Reverse AFC Power Rankings brought to you by our friends at Empire Electric, your local neighborhood electricians. Visit empireelectricians.com. Okay. Got the teams? Got a list of teams?
I'm familiar. I've heard of most of these teams. So I think I'm prepared for the assignment.
All right.
I do.
Mostly vibes-based, I think.
Yeah, I mostly want to start off with that in mind because I don't necessarily really believe that this team deserves to be ranked 16, but I feel like when you revisit something, you pull the warm, comfortable flannel blanket up under your chin on the cold winter's night, and you're looking for the comfort food that is the Reverse AFC Power Rankings, I think you have a certain expectation that the New York Jets are going to be the first team mentioned. And I'm not sure I really need them to be 16, but in a certain way I kind of do.
Well, I guess I understand and appreciate that story. For me, they are not the worst team in the conference. Enough good players are there. Quarterback's not terrible. They signed Breece Hall. We didn't really talk about that, but he was always seemingly sending messages that he wanted to leave, and he got a contract. Wilson's good. You like Omar Cooper. I don't dislike him. The tight end in the first round has his fans.
Yep.
So they've got some good skill position players now. I think Miami for me is 16. If I were to guess right now which team finishes with the worst record in the conference, I feel like Tennessee probably ticks up. The Raiders with Bowers and Genty and Mendoza could be a little bit good. Dolphins.
I like Miami here.
I'm fine with it.
If they're not a blanket on a cold night,
I
what is this?
I think I let off with I don't even really believe the Jets need to be in the the leadoff hole here.
Yes.
Just felt like maybe a thing that you could do. And I still feel so much that way that I'm going to suggest Cleveland for 15.
Oh, you can do that.
Hey, new year, new rules.
New rules? You're coming off the Jets.
I'm coming off the Jets.
You just like the symbolism of the Jets.
like if you guys were going to run with me on the symbolism, fine, but I didn't want to be dug in. I really wasn't. The whole platform was predicated on not really being dug in.
Yes.
So I'm leaving them.
Love
now.
those.
Yeah, right.
That's a platform for you.
Oh.
I don't really mean any of this.
Should anything be more contemporary in American politics, right in the discourse, than that right there? There it is.
I could not disagree with myself more about what I'm about to say.
Right. I hate it, actually. It's bad for all of us.
If you knew me, you would know that I completely don't believe any of this.
Who wins with this legislation? No one. That's who.
Let's do it.
Hurry.
Let's all get on board.
Yeah. All right,
no cynicism in this area at all.
Back at Mission Control,
Cleveland?
I suggested Cleveland for 15. Yeah, that was what I did.
Say Jets. No, I'm not going to say Jets. Okay. Watson, maybe. Kind of seems like it, right? Watson.
Yep. Sorry, I was taking a drink. Yeah. Sure, that should go well.
Cleveland at Jacksonville, week 1, by the way. Miami at Las Vegas, week 1. 14.
Tennessee.
I'm going to say Jets. I like Cam Ward. You know this. You people.
That's the thing. You like Cam Ward. I do not.
The two of you know this. I like Cam Ward. I'm kind of. I think Dayball with him there, and I'm interested in what ends up looking like, and I kind of come around on Robert Saleh. I think. He was the Jets coach, and it went badly. Of course, it went badly. Ditka in his prime would have had a hell of a time with the Jets. So
Ditka. Jets or Titans? I'll say Jets because I'll break the tie with they used to be called the Titans.
Wow.
So the Jets are kind of like both the Jets and the Titans. How's that? Boom.
That works.
13. Vegas. You did it. I'll go with Vegas here at 13.
Sure.
Good? No. You want Tennessee? Or someone else? Who else? Chiefs?
No, I'll say Vegas. You're going to have to show me that anything there is actually going to work.
Clint Kubiak.
Okay. We'll see,
Miami
buddy.
has a new coach. Cleveland has a new coach. Vegas has a new coach. The Jets do not. They should. The Jets do not. Of the 4 top teams here in the reverse AFC power rankings, the Jets are the only one that brought their coach back.
They're next, right?
Halfley, Monken, and then Kubiak are the new guys. Aaron Glenn, still with the Jets. No interceptions all year.
Right.
Yeah, let's put the Jets. No, they're 14. Tennessee, 12.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
You want that?
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's a tier break after this one.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Yeah, I think the work gets considerably harder now.
Also a new coach, as you mentioned. Titans. That seems to happen in football when your team is terrible.
Yeah.
Except when it's the Jets.
Also right. Although he was new last year. So.
He was new last year, and they were bad the year before that. Yes.
It never ends, Jets.
Jets, Titans, week 1.
Oh, we're going to get a lot of questions answered there.
Yes. Somebody's going to 1-0.
Right.
And we already said Dolphins, Raiders. So the Browns are the one team here.
The race for the first overall pick is going to heat up in a hurry.
It's a big week 1.
Not wasting any time.
The losers get a jump on it.
And save that for November 425.
No. If you missed it the other day, the Jets don't even have a single 425 game, let alone a night game. That's incredible.
And no interceptions all year last year.
2 405s. Don't they just sort of have to go out west and play at 425? They do not. They have 405 games in weeks 11 and 15. Maybe they'll get flexed. All right.
And it's New
11.
York. They didn't even
I
get
know.
a Thursday. Like, Thursday's too good for them now because of Prime and, like, what?
That's the best part of the whole thing is they somehow killed the New York market for TV, being so bad for so long.
It's amazing. I mean, not amazing. It's notable.
The Giants have
Back
a
off
Thursday, a Sunday, and 2 Mondays. The Giants are in prime time. Get ready the first 2 weeks.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that gets you going for football, doesn't it? Back-to-back primetime Giants games to start the year.
Woo.
All right, 11. Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Cut it out, Pittsburgh.
Rodgers. What are you...
Give it a break.
That was hard to believe as a good idea 4 years ago before he tore his Achilles against the Bills. It's still going? Come on. There's other guys.
There are.
Find another guy. What are you doing?
Mix it up.
You got as good as you could get out of him last year, right? Mostly, didn't you think? Like, he wasn't bad. But, like, what's the ceiling? It's last year. That's it. Oh, Pittsburgh. No Mike Tomlin, and they're still just fooling around over here.
Well, the one thing, I don't disagree. I agree with the sentiment completely. The one thing that the Steelers have done, and I guess you have to say to their credit, we had Bills teams that were in the middle, and it was like there were no good ideas at quarterback because you didn't draft high enough. It was also a team I don't think guys really wanted to play for that badly. Like there just was rarely an exciting idea. So you settled all year after year. You settled for what you were at quarterback. The Steelers, you have to give them. They do make the playoffs. They could be
That's right.
those Bills teams, but they make the playoffs. And okay, well, I mean that's the goal. Somehow they do it. Plus 10 point differential last year was good enough to win the AFC North. Jackson gets hurt, and the Bengals are terrible on defense. And
then what? You're a couple good days away from going somewhere because like he gets hot at the right time. Maybe I guess right. I remember talking like this as the playoffs were coming last year because of course they qualified.
Yeah,
they toe the line of is it worth it anymore to make the playoffs?
Yeah,
they get run over. Like it's not even a fun game. They just get run over by whoever they play. And we're back at this next. They get rid of Mike Tomlin, but they hire Mike McCarthy. It's the same kind of guy.
At least the good news is now we know that this is, unless it's all just part of the game that Rodgers is saying it's the end, and then there'll be a whole another run of new drama. Is it really the end? Did he Did he unbuckle his chin strap? Like whatever. Maybe it'll go on. And on. But it's supposed to be the end of the line, so they can't do this again next year.
we think.
They're going to have to find a better idea.
It's insufferable.
Yes.
10.
I'll go Colts. Here, I'm just not.
I like that.
Real sure where I'm heading there. Jones coming off an Achilles. Is that really gonna? Is that he's just good now? I don't know. I think there's reason to be skeptical there.
Just wish I'd made that bet.
I know.
What were they, 8-2 or 8-3? They're not going to win another game.
I'm going to give you it was 8-2.
I think it was 8-2, yeah.
They lost their last 7. They were 8-2. They beat Atlanta in overtime in Europe. Maybe that was Munich. And they didn't win again. Unanimous. All right, Indianapolis, 10. 9. Now it gets good.
Yep.
Houston, for me, I think. 12-5. I think I want to say Houston.
I'm a Houston or I'm a Cincinnati. I think.
I'll go Houston here.
Boom, you don't have to even decide then.
Good.
It's taken out of your hands.
And I will stay with Cincinnati for the my next choice.
I can't believe that stat about how often they're favored. I look at their schedule. I got to double check that because I keep using it because their schedule does not scream out they're going to be favored like week after week after week. At Houston in week 2, at Baltimore, they're not going to be favored in Baltimore, or they're not now. They're favored in Atlanta. They're favored in Washington. They have the Chiefs. They're favored in all these games. I don't know. It's weird.
What is the stand about the thing? I don't even know. I don't know what this is.
We were at the arena the one day where the Bet Online sent the emails out. I got to double check
And they
it
were
because I'm starting to doubt it.
You thought
they were favored in 15 games.
Okay.
But they're favored in like most of those games I just mentioned.
Yeah, I don't know.
NFC South, AFC South, sure. But still, in that division,
Yeah.
I'll go check it because I said it this morning when I was on with Theo Greminger, and I immediately thought I should double check this. I used to do stuff like that. So you like Cincinnati at 8?
Yeah.
You know they're favored in 15 games.
Is that the number? Have you double checked that?
I'll go with Bengals too. I don't. There's no one else I like.
Right.
Less.
Yeah. That's what you run into at the top of this thing.
7.
Especially when they haven't played games in months.
Yeah, there's not a lot to work with lately. ADP chasing 7:30 tonight. We'll find something.
You always
talk about Bucky Irving.
Yeah.
His injury. This is going to be good stuff. The guys like to argue about the receiver the 49ers picked at the top of the second round, Stribling.
Okay.
They're wide range of opinions.
That seems like the choice in the draft that generated the most conversation. Isn't that where the consensus board conversation spun off of John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan getting questioned about that draft pick, I feel like, is where that really sprang from.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So even though the hockey playoffs were going on, I was paying attention.
You caught that one.
Other things, yes.
All right, 7. I think you want to say it. Kansas City. 6-11. Kenneth Walker now. Kelsey back. Rashee Rice, who knows?
ACL for the quarterback,
right.
Oh, he's way ahead of schedule. Okay, all right. Let's just see how that looks in September.
I also feel you always hear like ahead of schedule. No one ever goes like, "Oh, guys, actually, raise the alarm." No, it's always. I mean, he's a robot. I have no idea how this is happening.
Yeah.
Not Bucky.
No,
not Bucky or Malik Neighbors either. That's gone.
But that's when you are like, "Oh no."
Right.
Like I'm hearing Giants primetime 2 weeks in a row, and immediately I'm like, "Not with Malik Neighbors, probably not." And then Rashee Rice has to rehab in prison.
Kansas City also, this will not come as any surprise, start with 2 night games. Home to Denver Monday night, then home to Indianapolis, both at Arrowhead in week 2 on Sunday night. Some of the Sunday night games are not really
don't get
exciting.
It? Yeah.
Well, there's a school of thought that with ESPN buying NFL Network, that they basically just loaded up the Monday night schedule as a thank you or something.
Okay.
And the Sunday night games suffered a little bit. I mean, week 4 Sunday night football is Detroit at Carolina. That had to happen. There was no better idea than that. Detroit at Carolina.
They chose
on a Sunday night.
Was there somebody threatened? Was there a handgun involved? What?
I know.
I've not done that. I've not looked at the whole week by week or Detroit at Carolina on Sunday Night Football is stunning.
The Bills have one Sunday night game on the schedule, Week 14 at Green Bay. That's maybe the best looking game on paper of the whole schedule on Sunday night. But a lot of these, Houston at Pittsburgh, we get Pittsburgh twice in 4 weeks on a Sunday, Baltimore, Atlanta, Tampa, Chicago. I don't know. I think they're not marquee games like I would say we're used to. Whereas Monday night, you get some bigger matchups. I think. Anyway, that's definitely subjective. Where are we? Pick team number 7. And I said the Chiefs.
Oh, we didn't decide on that? Fine. I'm fine with Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're up to 6 now?
6.
That comes after 7 still?
It does in our case, yes.
Going backwards? Yeah.
If the world were like this, 7-6 would have been the fad.
I see.
This is tough.
Chargers. I'm honestly, Chargers or Bills for me. Is where I'm at.
I kind of want to go Bills. The Chargers should probably be really scary.
You could definitely
McDaniel is
do something
OC.
other than the Chargers and the Bills. I'm just saying, for me, that's where I'm at in the choosing.
I would pick New England.
I'm fine with New England.
Okay.
A.J. Brown's not on the roster
easy.
yet.
No, right. And then when he is, we can do this again. Move him. Or not. 5. I like L.A. a ton. I like Denver less. But if it matters, Denver beat the Bills in the playoffs. So it's a little, although I wanted to put New England, we did.
Yeah.
In that slot. So I'd have a tough time going Denver here, but I kind of want to. I'll just do it. That's my pick. Denver's my pick. It's not the standings. 1 seed.
I want to put the Bills here. So if you want to avoid that outcome, choose Denver. Or choose a different team. We can start over. I don't know what we would do. If
Run it back.
We're
Go for the top.
here.
Is that allowed?
I'll go Bills here.
Okay. 4 is Denver for me. Still.
I like flipping Denver and the Chargers. I think McDaniel is going to be really interesting for them, the Chargers.
All right.
And they hopefully will have both their tackles.
It is a little scary venturing out with Justin Herbert. Like, really, you trust him? But
look at what happened again. 3.
Who are some teams who are left here?
Baltimore is left.
Baltimore is left.
How do they do it? How does Baltimore do it? They go 8-9 and they end up winning this stuff.
They have a great roster. That's how they do it.
I thought about them like at 7 or so, but I thought that was too early. Now this feels a little bit too late, but it's too late to change it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other options are the Chargers and Jaguars. Wow.
This was a ride.
Those two teams, though, are always hot this time of year.
Yes, this is their time of year.
This is a Baltimore 3. That's fine.
Okay, it is that. It is. That's correct. It is their time of year. The Chargers, especially May. They love May. 2, L.A.
I will say Chargers. Yes.
1, Jacksonville.
Leave Jacksonville.
Is that a
on top.
first?
No.
They may have been 1 after they beat Denver.
Yes. There was a if you go back there was a week where you were away, Nate was in, and I was like crushing on them. Like they did it. They went on the road and took apart a good team.
I see it. It's that left column. It's different writing.
Yeah, it is.
Jacksonville, number 1. Bills at 5. Reverse AFC Power Rankings brought to you by Empire Electric. Your local neighborhood electricians. Visit empireelectricians.com. What do you think? 803-0550 is the number. Bounced around a lot today. NHL playoffs, in and out of that. And talking to Sal about the Bills' defense and new, if not new personnel, new roles and new bodies for some of the guys that are still on the team. Landon Jackson, 25 pounds, all of this. I can't tell you how much of an adjustment, that would be. It seems like an adjustment, though.
I think for a highly tuned athlete, even more so than us. I mean, sadly, many of us have probably been through a situation where you gained 25 pounds over the course of a few months, and never intentionally, never on a weight training program or a special diet, as I would guess Landon Jackson was on. But he intentionally has put on 25 pounds.
Muscle.
Right.
So you'd have to eat like an insane amount of food every day because you're working so hard to build the muscle.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to hear more about. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, 803-0550, back after sports. This is WGR.
Back in the practice field today for the Buffalo Bills as OTAs continue this week. But before the team did take the field, we heard from new defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard. And if you want to listen back to what he had to say earlier today with the media, you can do so on the Odyssey app or on our website, WGR550.com. In playoff action tonight, we'll start with the NHL. Colorado at Las Vegas, Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. And Vegas is the team that can move on to the Cup Final with a win tonight. But potentially good news for Colorado. Nathan MacKinnon is expected to play tonight after picking up an injury in Game 3. Puck drop at 9, and then looking a little bit ahead to free agency, Evgeny Malkin will not hit the market as he signs a one-year deal worth $5.5 million to stay with Pittsburgh. In the NBA, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, that series is tied 2-2 between OKC and San Antonio, and the game tonight is in Oklahoma. Tip-off is at 8:30. And in baseball, Bison's home against the Iron Pigs. First pitch in just about a half hour at 6. While in the majors, Blue Jays host the Marlins and the Mets have Cincinnati in town. Both those games will start just after 7 o'clock, while for the Yankees, they are in Kansas City. That game will start at 7:40. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Svechnikov, cross ice, Jarvis. Back out, shot by Svechnikov. Score! The Carolina Hurricanes take Game 3.
Kenny Albert. So TNT,
Yep.
they have that whole series.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN has the other one.
Correct.
Sean McDonough.
Right.
$2 hot dogs at the Bisons tonight, half an hour away. Could be tough for us. I've got my show tonight too, so you're not going to see me out there tonight. $2 hot dogs. Big hot dog weekend.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend is. Yeah, I burned through Friday I had hot dogs, and that was the end of that for me, for the whole weekend.
Hot dogs Saturday and Sunday. Then I made pulled pork yesterday. That was like the entree. Different relatives in and out. Memorial Day. That's just a casual, picnicky kind of day.
Some slider rolls and a crock pot of pulled pork, and you're good to go.
Exactly right. King's Hawaiian sliders.
Mm-hmm.
But then my brother-in-law comes over, and he's like, have you guys heard about these?
Oh, boy.
And I said, what are these? He said, hot dogs.
Oh,
I said, well, of course I've heard about hot dogs. He's like, no. These are the new hot ones.
Oh my! You broke the seal on that. Well,
he did.
Okay.
He brought them over. He brought 7 hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right. Well, I don't know. You got to make sure. Like he did. I told him just make sure you do this, and he agreed. He didn't need me to tell him this, but you've got to announce that these are the spicy hot dogs. Salins.
Right. Yep.
These are the spicy ones. You can't just pretend that they're not and serve them as if they're just normal hot dogs.
Do they look in any way suspiciously hotter than the average hot dog?
Not to my eyes, no.
Okay. That's important to know.
But I grilled them all.
Thus, you need to let people know that they are different.
Maybe they were a little bit redder,
Okay.
but I'm not sure I could even tell you that. And I grilled them all, bring them back to the front yard. Who wants to try one of the spicy hot dogs? A few people did. And a couple of these people, including, I believe, I would say my brother-in-law was this, they were really affected by the spicy hot dogs.
See.
Like, I was surprised. I did not go first. I was surprised that they were as different to my family as they seemed to be.
I see.
So I'm like, all right, well, I'll have one. And I went and got a pickle spear for mine.
Sure.
And I came back out with they're like, oh, that's a good idea. To dull the pain.
Temper with the cool,
the heat.
Nice cool pickle spear out of the fridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I could tell a difference, but it didn't affect me really at all. I was like, yeah, these are a little bit hot.
Any other condiments applied or just the pickle?
Actually, ketchup. Which,
what are you, 9?
I know. That's fair.
Yeah.
That is non-derogatory. That is derogatory, but that is still fair.
That's what I say to everybody. That my kids still put ketchup on hot dogs, and I say, what are you, 9? I don't know, whatever.
What should you put on?
Not ketchup. I don't know.
I wasn't going to go to all the work. I'd already made dinner, so you didn't get chopped onions from me. You didn't get sort of a fancy chili sauce from me like you sometimes would at my house.
How about I don't know, just a jar of mustard?
I mean, I have lots of mustard.
That's all. That's you're good with me then. That's all I need is
a jar
mustard. Well, just whatever, some mustard. I don't. You me have it in little packets if you want. I don't care.
Packets.
Packets. Just give me some mustard.
Weber's.
Can't have a hot dog.
But I shunned the horseradish mustard in this case.
Yeah, I would too.
Because I was sort of thinking, like, is this going to be really hot?
I don't like that on a hot dog anyway. The horseradish mustard. It just overwhelms the hot. I like a lot. I aggressively apply mustard to my hot dogs. And I like that more than, because I know I could put a lot less of the horseradish mustard on there, but I like a lot of mustard, and I want that, and I don't want to have all that horseradish just dominates me.
Okay.
So just for a hot dog, especially on Memorial Day,
French's.
Give me the straight up yellow French's. That's all I need. I dabble with the Nance's, the honey hot or the plain hot or whatever, like different, but
never mayonnaise.
I have never put mayonnaise on a hot dog.
People do that, though.
I know.
I never have either.
I've seen it done now. Not a fan.
I'm not inclined either.
Certain things just don't belong on certain things, and I feel like the consistency of mayonnaise, like you put mayonnaise on a sandwich and put the bread, the top of the put the sandwich together.
Go on.
And the mayonnaise is there. It provides the flavor and the moisture that maybe you're looking for. I don't want to see that spread on the top. Like,
yeah, I hear you. I agree.
It doesn't.
You don't want to look at it.
It doesn't look appetizing on a hot, like the hot dog's hot ideally. And I've got mayonnaise that is going to start congealing in some weird way. It's going to become partially liquefied, and I'm sorry, that's seeping into a hot dog roll?
Pass. Hard pass.
Get the hell out of here. So unless you're going to sit there with a hot dog on a bun, dipping it in some tub of mayonnaise every bite, so you're getting mayonnaise that's not, and that's disgusting.
What a visual that is. Dipping it in the tub. The whole thing's
just, you people are disgusting. Just stop it. Stop with the mayonnaise and the hot dogs.
You don't see that very often around here. There might be places where you do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's gotta be.
Could the Bisons do that for you if you wanted?
I believe they have all of the products that would be necessary.
They'd have the packets of mayonnaise, like they put them on a burger or something for you?
Or they have them. They have a big squirt top mayo guy out there for fried bologna sandwiches, maybe, or something. I don't really know. But I think they have mayo at the ballpark. So, yeah, you could do that. But don't. Unless you want to answer to me. I mean, I don't know when I'm going to be at the ballpark exactly. I won't be there tonight. So, I mean, I guess
that's been established.
Mayonnaise, your heart's content on your $2 hot dogs tonight.
You'll be watching the NBA tonight?
Well, they get a half-hour head start on the hockey game. So 8:30 probably means, 8:55. A 9 o'clock start for the hockey game probably means 9:30. I'm exaggerating all these kids. I'll get to the basketball and then the hockey. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes if I know ahead of time that I'm not making it to the end of something, I just sort of boycott it out of principle. 9 o'clock, you don't want me to watch. You told me, Chris Parker, Buffalo, New York, don't bother watching this, is what you're doing with this 9 o'clock start time. So I'll take you up on that. So I'll get to get Spurs and Thunder tonight. Sure.
Spurs and Thunder.
Go ahead.
No.
I last year was SGA, the Thunder. They it was their year. They showed up, had the best year, and won. They were heavily favored to win the title, and they did so. And that was my first year ever really paying attention to them. And I had a bet on them, and I think they might have been first in line in the bet, to win a title. I had Mets, Bills, Thunder, Dallas Stars, or something, and they were going to get to the finish line first. Maybe ahead of. Anyway, I was invested in Oklahoma City last year, and I mostly didn't really pay any attention to all the stories and the commentary about the flopping.
Mm-hmm.
I was backing them. They were new and exciting, and I want to get on board. And I'm a drive-by artist here with basketball. Like, oh, you look cool, fine, I'm in, whatever. And I never really pushed back on it because I didn't really have a strong stance either way, but it didn't bother me because I had money on them and I wanted them to win. And I thought maybe a lot of it was like pushback from Seth Bros, who just didn't like there being a new Kingpin team or something. I don't know, whatever. I mostly ignored it. This year I watched them. I'm really intrigued by the Spurs because of Wembanyama, so I'm not rooting for Oklahoma City anymore, and the flopping is making me insane when I watch them. I don't think it's probably not any worse than it was. But I look at them now, and especially him, Gilgeous-Alexander, and I just can't. He's on the floor like every other time down the court. Often off of nothing happening to him. It is really, really frustrating.
Might be a tough habit to break.
It's really tough to watch.
Yeah. It would be nice if there were an easy way to rectify that. I mean, in any sport, I guess.
Yeah.
Soccer season just ended. We got World Cup coming up, and it's hilariously bad.
Yeah.
Everything is I'm fine. I mean, somebody got booked in the Everton game I was watching for overdoing it. I think that was the game. You see that once in a while. Yellow card for embellishment. But there's just no easy way to do it. I mean, it still pays. The guy won the MVP on a championship winner.
Yeah.
Why is he going to not do that anymore?
I read somewhere today that on average, every one of those flops is worth between 0.9 and 1 point something points. Beat that. I mean, there's a reason to deploy the tactic right there. I mean, every time you're going to the foul line, free baskets. It's just weird. It's not weird. I mean, I explained why. I think I just didn't see what I didn't want to see last year because I wanted an outcome, and I wasn't really worried about it. And now I don't have any real vested interest at all, other than I'm casually interested in a guy on the other team. And now all I see is him flopping around the floor. Like, it just looks ridiculous to me. It's embarrassing.
Embarrassing yet effective.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
I saw a graphic today after the Knicks win. 11 franchises have won the Eastern Conference title in the NBA since 2000. The Knicks won in 99, so from that forward, which means that 4 have not. Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, and who?
Since 99?
Yep. 4 teams have not made it to the finals from the East in these 7 years. 3 are Atlanta, Charlotte, and Washington. There's 1 more.
Bulls.
Yes, Chicago. That's tough.
Yeah, it is.
When you're a casual like me, Jordan, 6 titles, dynasty, all-time great franchise, and you look at it, I mean, if you follow it closely, you don't need this reminder because they have not been to the finals since. That's 98, right? That'd be the last time they were in the finals. The end of the Jordan years.
That's a rough stretch.
That's a drought.
Is that what that is?
That is a finals drought. 30, almost 30 years. In a conference where it really has not been. I mean, LeBron's Cavs had a stretch where they went 3 or 4 years in a row.
Right.
Miami with him.
Yeah, Boston had a little, maybe 3 and 4 years, I think, in there somewhere, or 2 and 3, whatever. But
you have a Toronto, you have a Philadelphia early, you have a couple New Jersey.
Indiana last year.
You have Indiana. A couple. The Orlando sneaked one in.
That was last year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And this year they were 18
confirming
and 60
that it wasn't 6 years ago. Because sometimes I'd mistake 1 year for 6.
Yeah, sure. No, I've done that.
That happens.
Everybody else has made it.
Okay.
Out of the East since 99. And the Knicks were in 99 and now this year. That's an interesting story, the Knicks. They're killing people, too.
Right.
It's like an all-time dominant run.
They've won 3 rounds, and in every round they won at least 1 game by 40 points.
And the clincher was never close in any of these series either, right?
Right.
Big comeback earlier. Game
one of this series against Cleveland was a huge comeback by them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here at 803-0550. This is WGR. If I recall correctly from reading this earlier, the Avalanche are expected to flip goalies tonight.
Yeah.
Blackwood.
Wedgwood to Blackwood.
Wedgwood to Blackwood. What do you think of that move?
They're
down 3-0.
They're the same guy. So whatever. Yeah. I mean, you got to do something. I guess.
I guess.
They did this in the second round against Minnesota. They lost, I think, game 2 of that series, put Blackwood in, and they won game 3, and then he got pulled early in game 4. So maybe it'll give them a bump for one night, and that's all they're trying to do is get home and play game 5.
And then ride this guy all the way. As
Sure,
far as it takes
or
them.
go back to the other guy. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Can't do that. We played this game. We can't do that after a win, though.
No, that's right. No,
They need to win 4 straight.
That's right. But the script going the way it went the previous round is probably what I would predict happens. If they win, maybe they win tonight. He gets the win. He stays in. The other guy comes back to save the day.
I love a team down 3-0.
Well, we both love to lose bets, so of course we do.
Sure. I mean, I love a good team down 3-0. Just it's sort of an easy one in my mind. Just how random it is, and I don't know. It's just like it's too easy to assume that the team down 3-0 is just going to give up, and then they so often don't. I mean, does anybody really ever give up? You see mostly at least like the usual effort, and then when they win, there's no quitting these guys.
Right.
So,
but if they do lose, and that's by like the Cavaliers last night. Of course they were cooked. They knew they were cooked. They lost by 40. We decide after that they were going to give up.
What was the flow of the game? Like, was it over early?
I didn't even look.
Okay, I mean, pretty big score.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, if basketball's different. It's just harder to win as an underdog in basketball. Yeah. So you're down 3 games and you get down 10 or something in the first half. I don't know what it would be. Just like it, kind of hard to see your way through it.
I'd like their chances if they're just not getting anything out of McCarr, and I expect that they'll get very little out of McKinnon. When he came back to try to play through the injury in game 3. Now there's been some time off, and he I don't know what structurally happened. He took a slap shot off the knee in a bad spot. He just could not couldn't do. He played on the power play and just kind of stood there, right? But like skating wise was completely nullified, which I mean that's a big part of his magic power is that he's just such a great skater all over the ice, 200 feet. I just think without those two guys damaged, I don't even know if I like him to win tonight, honestly.
He does have that shot. If you think of Thompson, like top of the left circle, where McKinnon is the bottom of the left. The goal he scored in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Just really tight angle. Did he score a goal in the playoffs like that? Also, he's probably scored a lot of them. But I'm playing him to score the first goal just for fun. He's still the favorite to do it, 9-1.
Wow, all right.
Even with his injury and the Avs down in the series. 803-0550 to reach us. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR.
The Buffalo Bills, as OTAs continue this week, and before practice, we did hear from new defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard. And if you want to listen back to hear what he had to say, you can do so on the Odyssey app or our website, WGR550.com. Some playoff action tonight will start in the NHL. Colorado at Las Vegas, Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Vegas can move on to the Cup Final with a win tonight. Nathan MacKinnon is expected to play for Colorado after picking up an injury in Game 3. Puck drop is at 9. While in the NBA, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals as well. That series, though, is tied 2-2 between OKC and San Antonio. The game tonight is in Oklahoma. Tip-off a half hour before the hockey game at 8:30. We are less than a month away from the 2026 World Cup, which is going to be hosted by the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. It's going to kick off in June, and for the U.S. today, they unveiled the 26-man roster for the 48-team tournament, and the U.S.'s first game going to be Friday, June 12th, when they take on Paraguay in Los Angeles. Then in baseball, Bison's home against the Iron Pigs. First pitch coming up in the next few minutes. You can listen to that over on our sister station, the Bet 1520. While in the majors, Blue Jays host the Marlins, and the Mets, they have Cincinnati in town. Both those games will start a little after 7 o'clock. While for the Yankees, they're in Kansas City versus the Royals. That game will start at 7:40. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
I don't love Junior Mints. I just don't hate them. I don't understand why they are treated like second-class candy.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
Oh,
There's a
you don't
fantasy
understand why
team
a
name.
candy that is basically toothpaste wrapped up in stale chocolate is treated like a second-class candy. All right, I get it. It's a good, valid question.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
Is there a time to change? You know, the 3 teams I've drafted this year, second-class candy is pretty good.
On WGR Sports Radio 550.
I did name a team Greenway's Pants last night. I said it in that Game 7 overtime.
It was time.
One more goal, and all my teams are going to be named Greenway's Pants for that first goal. And Ray Ferraro kept saying, Greenway's Pants, Greenway's Pants. He wasn't chanting it, but he kept saying how he kept pointing out. And I liked it, too, because I caught it when it happened. Like, that was tipped. And so Greenway's Pants coming to a league that may or may not be near you. But you want me to run down the roster real quick for you? You know what's happening? I'm not going to do that. I know you want me to, but I'm not going to. You know what's happening?
Please do.
You know what's happening?
No, what's happening?
Friday night and that last night I drafted in this thing. It's a Memorial Day tradition. The Hardway tournament and then one more last night to cap the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And in both drafts, I have Jalen Hurts. Because now you can get Jalen Hurts in the 10th round.
Because people think he might lose his job.
What?
Right? I mean, maybe that's a little strong.
What really will have changed there? So it might be a little bit of an uneasy situation. I mean, there always seems to be that with the Eagles. Even when they're winning the Super Bowl,
there's like a lot of stuff that sounds like more than just, the receiver and the quarterback might not be, on the same page all the time.
And so
there's stuff, right? There's stuff. I just want to make sure that for anybody who doesn't know, right? There's like reporting that indicates that Hurts just won't run certain plays that the coordinator would send in, or just change to other stuff that he favors, and just is borderline insubordinate almost. I mean, it just sounds like he's kind of doing his own thing a lot of the time, which I don't know. I mean, they've won the Super Bowl. It's not like it always ends badly.
Right.
But
he was the MVP.
This latest round of all this just sounds like if he doesn't have a really good year, that maybe they could try to find their way out of that.
It would really have to go south pretty soon, though, for that to put this year in jeopardy.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's bad, it's bad. But he's
Right.
such a safe quarterback play because of the rushing.
Yeah.
And they didn't overturn the tush-push. Like, they are still the division favorites, I would assume.
When I say lose his job, it's more like if they don't win big this year, like if they don't win the division and go on a playoff run, they might pivot.
Right.
If all the stuff, continues that's been reported.
Well,
but I think it's not very likely that he loses the job by Thanksgiving or something. I mean, I think that would be stunning. So,
I'm just used to picking him in like the 3rd round sometimes,
Right.
and this was the 10th
Now
round.
you're getting great value.
A.J. Brown leaving, which is expected, doesn't have to really damage Hurts in stats. It wasn't like that there was huge volume there. It was good. It wasn't bad. But, they drafted a receiver in the 1st round, Lemon. They still have Smith. They still have Goddard. They might have added Marquise Brown, too, if that rates. I don't know. The upside is not as clear as it has been for the last few years with him, but I still like it. So, not that normal people are drafting yet, but round 9, round 10, Jalen Hurts is happening. Right around Caleb Williams, right around Justin Herbert. Those are even May's a little earlier. Those are your counterparts.
Where's
Go on.
Where's quarterback Brendan Sorsby showing up on your
He's in trouble
on your drafts? Is he draft eligible?
He's not even eligible.
The story here today is that it's like the supplemental draft has been talked about for quite a while, ever since the news broke about him. Huge gambling investigation. He's going through rehab, but he's not going to be allowed to play college football anymore. That's the news today. So mid-July is the supplemental draft. I mean, he could be on a team.
Ooh.
And that's why I'm sort of cheekily bringing. I mean, it's news today that.
How do you spell it?
News, News.
With the other thing?
Sorsby, Sorsby. Brendan.
Got it.
Texas
Bring that up
Tech,
tonight.
star QB. I don't know what the
All right.
The supplemental draft is an easy piece of the NFL machinery to completely forget about because most years they don't have it.
Right.
So
because nobody's interested.
You need an opportunity where someone has no other alternatives left, which is about where we are, I think, with Brendan Sorsby. And he can't play college football anymore, and short of going to the UFL, I suppose, the supplemental draft maybe is an idea for him. I think the way that usually works is, and this might be too wild of a guess, but I feel like teams, a player might try to find out. Like, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to declare for this, am I going to be embarrassed, or is somebody going to do it? And if more than one team maybe indicates we're paying attention. Like, we'll give up a second in next year's draft or whatever, however the rules work to do this.
It might be. I want to say it's the corresponding pick
right
the next year. So if you use a second, then you
don't have a second, right? Then maybe then the guy declares I'm making myself available in the supplemental draft. I don't know if that first piece with team interest needs to happen, but it stands to reason. You wouldn't want the player, nor the player's representation would not want to declare for it and then just have it go by. No one just ignores you. Like, yeah, nice job. So we'll see here over the next few days, maybe if there's some news about that, and maybe the supplemental draft this year is something to pay attention to.
Boy, is there a name you think of? Number one?
Steve Walsh.
Oh, okay.
Same sort of, he went to the Cowboys when they already had Aikman?
Yeah, maybe.
I think is what happened there.
Not Steve Young?
I don't think Steve Young. Steve Walsh is the
okay. That's right.
The prominent supplemental draft name that I'm sure there are others, but that's the one name that I remember the most.
The first player I think of, there hasn't been a supplemental draft pick made in the NFL since 2019, so we're on a 6 going on 7 year perhaps span without a single pick made. The first name I think of is Kozar, and there was a Bills trade, and I always have to look it up. Because for whatever reason, it's not something that I retain.
Right.
But what I've got here from the 85 drafts, the 85 draft is Bruce Smith at the 101.
Mm-hmm.
And the Browns take Kozar in the supplemental draft that year using, I don't know if that's right. See, I can't really grasp this. They traded, according to the Wikipedia page, 85 draft, the Browns traded their first and third in 85, which was the 7th overall pick, and their first and sixth round picks in 86 to the Bills for the rights to Kozar.
So they could pick Kozar after the original draft. So they could, in July of 80, what year is this?
85 to 86.
Okay, so what year is he selected in the supplemental draft?
85.
Okay, so that's the same thing. So Bruce would have went first in April or whenever the draft was, and then a couple of months later, the supplemental draft, Bernie Kosar selected by Cleveland.
The thing that's most notable from the Bills side of it is that they, for the second year in a row, finished with the worst record in the league. So they ended up trading the 101 in 86 in that trade, which they had to think, because as bad as they were in 84, they had to think that that could have happened.
The writing was probably on the wall. Yeah,
Matheson and Ferragamo, like there was a pretty good chance the 85 team would be bad, and they both those teams finished 2-14. So the Bills would have had the first pick, but they forfeited it because the Browns used it the year before in the supplemental. So then Tampa Bay went and drafted Bo Jackson. Like the Bills could have had Bo Jackson.
That's what that sounds like,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, they'd have, maybe the Browns would have had Bo. I don't know. Like, it gets convoluted for me because the Bills.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. I'm just looking at I've never looked this far back. I'm on the Wikipedia page for the 1986 NFL draft. And
me too.
Buffalo Bills, round 1, pick dash. Nope. Selection forfeited is all it says there. And then Tampa drafting first overall. Tampa drafts Bo Jackson.
Yes. Who did he ever play for them? No.
I don't think so. No.
Those were the days. Elway in 83, threatening to play for the Yankees. Bo Jackson, baseball. They just basically lost his rights somehow. Do they end up getting them back when he's...
I don't know. I don't
football?
know what happens there. I'm going to go to his Wikipedia page to
Let's do that together.
See if it tells us what happens after that.
Stick with what you know, I think. Next time. That's the lesson here.
Right.
It's a big page.
Yeah. The college baseball, college track and field, the professional baseball. Yeah, there's a lot here.
You got to go way down there.
Yeah.
So he was drafted the next year by the Raiders. The 7th round in 87 when he was playing for the Kansas City Royals.
Okay, yep.
And ended up, that was good enough, so the Bucs just lost out entirely. That's tough.
That is tough.
I mean, now
first overall,
that wouldn't happen.
First overall.
Now that wouldn't happen. if
wow.
Name anybody you want. That player, Andrew Luck, right? Like he retires abruptly. He wants to make a comeback. It's the Colts.
Right.
I think. I'm pretty sure that would be right. Like it's the team that had his rights to begin with. You can't just retire, take however long you have left in your contract off, and then just become a free agent. Well, this is a good one.
Yep. I'm just reading here, not surprising. Like Jackson told like, don't do it. I'm going to go play baseball. And they did it anyway. And
that's what Elway did.
This is like he really went and did it. And then, I get the Buccaneers forfeited his rights before the 87 draft, it says. That might just mean they couldn't sign him. So if you drafted him first overall or 250th overall, whatever, a year goes by, you haven't signed him yet. That equates to forfeiting the pick.
That's baseball, right? Isn't that how the baseball draft works?
I think so. You can go back.
Lots of players are drafted multiple times in baseball.
Back in, right? Yeah.
Your son with Sault Ste. Marie. A little bit different. That's college and pro.
In different leagues, yeah. But yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that was a little bit of a ride. Anyway, supplemental draft.
Yes. Brendan Sorsby. I got it.
Texas Tech.
I'll see if I can't talk Davis into scooping him up in round 18 of an underdog draft, just in case. Just in case he goes supplemental. And who's the team?
Pittsburgh.
Hilarious. Love it. Could be Cleveland, too, because Cleveland just has all the quarterbacks. Just, I don't know. Why not? They have the history with Kozar. It worked out for them once. Arizona. Well, they drafted Beck.
Yeah.
You don't do this, though, if you drafted Beck.
Well, no, supplemental. Well, I don't know. Did you know this was going to happen? I don't know. And I don't even know how. I know people are talking about the supplemental draft and have been ever since this gambling scandal broke for him. I don't know what level. I never thought to ask Chris Trapasso about him during draft season here. If he were in the draft. Because I don't think he was really in the news maybe until whatever. And I just never. So I don't know where he rates amongst this year's draft class. Is he the second guy off the board after Mendoza if he's in this draft? Or is he, a Saturday pick? I really don't know.
I don't even think I've heard his name. So, you're right. We never broached that subject.
Got there, yeah, no. He was not on the radar, really.
Indianapolis?
Could, sure. But they have no long-term answer. I mean, not that Daniel Jones is old.
Luck?
I don't trust him.
They're still playing for that comeback.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
They're holding on. They're holding out hope for Andrew Luck to come
Are they
back.
going to trade Anthony Richardson?
They can't. They said they would. They literally told everybody they would like to do that, and they still couldn't do that.
That's tough.
So I think he's just there. Yeah, that is tough.
Yeah, not great, Bob.
I just hate that one. It bothers me big time, that one. Because I've said it a lot. I know you liked him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This looks like a good bet. So big. Fantasy-wise, we all went crazy for him like we did for Fields and Lance. The floor is so high. That collectively was pretty bad results over there. But the process, Bulldog, the process. Right. But I just want to think, now offensive coordinators don't run organizations, but wouldn't any offensive coordinator with enough sort of security in their position and, whatever, status in the organization, wouldn't you just love to have him active on game days for 10 plays or 3, I don't know, just to have the possibility of a guy who can run through you or around you and throw it over you. Like Allen, somebody like that, but not on a level where you'd have to, start him or anything like that. We all know they're not going to do that.
Right.
But just as a pivot point in games, that's just too risky for the NFL? Put a guy in cold, you'd have to give him a uniform on game days and take one away from your backup gunners. I just would love to see somebody think like that. Justin Fields, his days of starting are probably over. He's in Kansas City. He might start week 1 for Kansas City if Mahomes isn't ready.
It's going to be injury. Right. He's not winning a job.
No, I think that's probably done.
Yeah.
But he's somebody also that just feels like sort of common sense. We'll see what Andy Reid does. If Andy Reid won't do it, he'll do it.
Yeah.
To get him in on one of these, ring around the rosy goal line looks and use Justin Fields instead of Mahomes or in addition to Mahomes and line him up behind him, you could have a lot of fun with this.
Yep.
But you know what happens if it goes wrong? Too cute.
Too cute. And the thing that really compounds everything with Richardson is the trust. Do you trust him? Does he understand his place in all of this? Ever since that thing happened where he tapped out of that game, I feel like from the organizational standpoint, I got to ask myself, even for 3 do I want to if I want to trust him for 3 plays, I should trust him for 50 or something. I don't know. I think there's a disconnect there that has to be explained by him maybe not knowing how it works.
Right, maybe. It's kind of a tough stigma when that happens.
Yeah.
You know how football culture can be. Nobody throws a better deep ball. Can you picture a couple of his highlights where it's just he's on his back foot and it's a 50-yard laser, just perfect, guy's covered? I mean, to say that, and anybody can do that once maybe, but so I don't want to make it sound like he's Mahomes or anything or Allen, but he has that high, it seemed.
Yep.
He has that high level of talent
Yep.
where Somebody should be willing to try to make that work. It's apparently not going to be Indianapolis.
But so they make sense. Circling all the way back, they make sense for this guy.
Sorsby.
To me, I think. I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna need to, now that I brought him up, I'm gonna need to like at least go back and like look, what kind of prospect is he really? Are we talking about Bernie Kosar? It's like
national champion.
It's a long time ago now, I know, but like the supplemental draft. What are you doing? Oh well, we got a quarterback that we think can maybe be our franchise guy, so we're gonna take him in July.
I love that the supplemental draft has like multiple rounds, and so. Do we all just sort of sit there and
just let it go
play
by,
chicken?
Right? I don't know.
I'll use a third,
right,
but not a second,
right?
And then we
we got scooped.
Is there a Zoom call?
Right.
And it's just total silence for like hours until in the 5th round somebody's like, "All right."
Yeah, is it Miami Miami's calling?
Let's just start it like this, everybody. Anybody want to use a 1st-round pick? No. Okay, 2nd. Okay, no. Okay, 3rd. We can sort of speed this up.
Right.
If it even still works like that. Sal Capaccio would be fun to talk to about that. We had him on earlier, and this subject did not come up. What did is Bill's practice and the comments from Jim Leonard. Sal, after the break, Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR. OTAs, organized